Hey, all you lovely people, or should I say, hey, buddy. How's everyone doing? It has been a really long time since I've done a live stream. Too long. And I wanted to get back into it. And I wanted to get back into it with something that I really like doing. And from what I've seen, y'all like doing it too with these bracket showdowns. We did a few of them before, and everyone seems to like them. So we're going to be doing another one of those tonight. And it's one I've wanted to do for a while because it's a hotly debated topic. I mean, you ask anyone who's the best Ghostface, you ask 12 people, you're getting 12 different answers. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it, and I can't make the decision on my own. So we're all gonna make it together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a bracket style. Before we jump into that, let's see who's well, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and I got one guest on so far. We're gonna have a few more popping in on the panel as we go along. So once we get them, we'll bring them on. But for now, let's bring on my good buddy, who's also, I mean, he hasn't made a video in a while, and he's recently jumped back into it and going head first. So let's bring my buddy in. You know him as I shot him 6 times.
What's up, buddy? What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just missing some live streams and ready to jump back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely going to be a fun one. I feel like, what you've whipped up it's definitely going to, it's going to leave our biases to the side. I think this is the best way to go about it. And this is going to be a lot of fun tonight, especially if you're a Scream fan.
Oh yeah. And this is going to be very Scream centric. All 4 photos you see above me are all Scream cast members. I made sure to to hang these in a way where I can change the order, because I got them with hung up with Velcro strips, and the order is purposeful because of the Scream content tonight. So this is gonna be a Scream heavy night, and as we already been talking about, we're gonna be putting the ghost faces against each other, one-on-one competitions, and winner moves on. And this is gonna be it's going to be interesting because we all have favorites, and your favorite is valid. That is no one can take that away from you. But what we're going to be looking at is just the skill of a killer. And we talked about it backstage very briefly, Marcus, but what this competition comes down to, everyone, and when we get to it, I'm going to be putting a poll in the chat, so everyone's vote's going to count. It's if we locked these 2 ghost faces in a room and they each had a knife and only one can come out, who do you think is walking out? That's going to be the criteria. And like I said, we have favorites. You just got to be mindful that if your favorite wouldn't win that competition, let's and I can't tell you who to vote for, obviously. If you think that Charlie Walker really could go toe to toe with Roman Bridger and get out of there, you vote for your Charlie Walker. I ain't gonna take that away from you.
Right.
But I mean, let's just say.
But you have to be realistic about the situation for what we're talking about. Just because a certain Ghostface killer might be your favorite, that doesn't mean they would take out another one who might be actually a little bit better than them.
Yeah, and I mean, and I made a joke about the Charlie Walker and Roman Bridger, but once again, and I always say when I talk about Charlie Walker, look at that Olivia kill. Charlie Walker could throw down, man. Charlie Walker can do some damage. So, and we're going to talk about these things as we go along. We're not just going to say, okay, Roman Bridger versus Wayne Bailey, go. We're going to say, hey, what do we know absolutely that Wayne did? let's compare that against what we know for an absolute that Roman did, and we're gonna get into it. So
It's gonna be a lot of fun,
yeah,
man.
man,
I'm
I'm
excited
excited.
for it.
We like I said, we do have a few more guests who are supposed to be jumping on, so I'm gonna take a little time before we actually jump into it. Excuse me. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and jump into the chat. And I'm already behind here. Let me see what we got in the chat. We got Russell. How's it going, man? Smash.
What's up,
Thank you,
Russ?
Russell. I always forget to say that. Please do smash the like button if you haven't. Helps me out. Helps get the stream out to more people. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, man. It's a very happy Wednesday for me because this is my last night of work before a long weekend. So, and this Friday going to meet Matthew Lillard again to ask some questions. Oh, dude, did you watch Five Nights at Freddy's yet?
Yes, I did.
Bro, I'm asking him about that knife swipe.
Bro, look, I said it in my video earlier.
I know, man. I'm gonna be.
Bro,
did you bring that up with you? Was that your idea? Is that a nod? Is that a wink to the audience?
I mean, I personally think that whole performance, I'll just say that whole performance is in so many ways him subliminally saying, I want to come back as Stu.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
He killed it there. Like, he was so good.
So good.
Anyways, okay, who else? We got Denisha jumping in the chat. What's up, Denisha? Always great to have you here. See, Russell, Denisha. Who else we got? I know that I saw some other names in here. Jen Warner is here.
Hey,
Jen,
what's up, Jen? What's up, Denisha?
Yeah, congrats on all your auditions, Jen. I've been seeing the messages. It's always great. If anyone didn't know, Jen acts in theater, which is
nice,
awesome. It's hard. Theater acting, I think, is so much harder than film because one shot, kind of like one shot, one kill type of deal. You don't get any chances to redo. You're in front of the audience. So we got Caden M jumping in. Going to be a great stream. I hope so, Caden. I hope everyone's excited about this because I am and I have been for a while to get this out there. And there's some more criteria that I want to throw out there because I know there's a comment from Jen coming up that I need to address. Let's see here. Where is it? Because it is relevant to this question. Jason should not be on the list, or this statement rather. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. Jason is on the list. And here's the criteria for the list. If you are a Ghostface, you had a kill in costume, and you made a phone call, then you are on the list. So if you're
rightfully so.
Exactly. So like Jason's on the list, but Greg isn't because he was hacked up before we know he got to kill anyone. So he didn't make the list. Now this is also excluding people like Angelina, who is very highly suspected was a Ghostface. We don't have any confirmation of that. So that's how the list is comprised. So I'll go ahead and tell you there are 13 Ghostface on the list, and because there's 13, the layout's going to look kind of weird in the bracket, but it's all going to work out, and it's going to get down to one, and we're going to see who's walking away. I have an idea who it's going to be, and I'm sure you probably have an idea of. You could probably, if I gave you two guesses, I'm betting one of those two would be correct, but who knows? Who knows how it's going to go?
We'll see, man. I have a feeling I know where it's going to go too, but you never know. We might surprise ourselves.
Yeah, there you go. We might. I want to address this comment. Detective Bailey did great as Ghostface. Just wasn't. Okay, as a Ghostface in costume, I think he did good. His acting out of costume, wasn't really a big fan.
Nah, so, I'd have to agree with that. Like, I always say it, and I'm always going to say it, and forever long, is what got me was the tears, man. Like,
you talk about after Quinn's.
Yeah, that took me right out of it. I just was like, come on, man. Like, it's too obvious, one, and then it's just like that. surprisingly, because Demont is a really good actor.
He's a super good actor.
Yeah, so like to see that was just like, oh man, that's kind of a little cringe and stuff. But
you mess with my family, you die.
Yeah,
bro.
What full Christian Bale of Batman?
Dude, I was at that moment. I was like, come on. So yes, to go back, Jason is going to make the list. He might get knocked off immediately. Who knows? But I mean, we can't. His kill wasn't bad. Like,
no, it wasn't.
He got in there. Like
he did,
and he was out, arguably in public. Like,
yeah,
people could have walked by at any time and saw him. So he was a little brazen. He didn't care to jump out there, and like, depending on who he gets pitted against, he might actually move on around. We don't know.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie. When I go back to that scene, it didn't like dawn on me at first, but when I rewatch it, it always reminds me now of I Know What You Did Last Summer, Sarah Michelle Gellar's kill.
Oh yeah, when after the parade and everything.
Yeah,
a little bit like that, man.
Just a little bit. But at least with this kill, with Jason's, we actually got to see it real good. And I Know What You Did Last Summer, everything was kind of glitchy because, the fireworks were going off and they were playing into that and all that stuff.
A lot of snap cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, depending on who Jason's pitted against, he might move on around. And that actually brings me to another thing. So we'll go ahead and I'll show the bracket really quick. We're not going to start it just yet, but I'll go ahead and show it. And this is how it's going to go, everyone. I hope y'all can see that. So over on the left, I have them all listed, all 13, in the order they were revealed. Okay, so now this button here it cycles them. It like randomizes them, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is, here in a minute, I'm going to have someone in the chat just throw out a number. I'm going to pick a number and I'm going to randomize it that many times. So that's going to make it so that I just want to prove to everyone that the matchups are completely random. We're not showing any favoritism here. So
right.
So let's keep going through here. Got a few more people in the chat. Philip Morgan, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here.
What's up, Phil?
Yeah. Who else? Kimberly, Ingolia. Hey y'all, this is my first time. Thank you so much for stopping by the live stream. I'm really glad you can make it. This should be a fun one. I mean, if you've never done one of the bracket streams like this, I think you'll enjoy it. You'll get to everyone's vote's going to count. Once we start, I'll get some polls going in the chat so y'all can cast your votes. And I mean, I think there might be an upset or two in here as well. I think there's going to be somewhere, because every
absolutely
done, there's one where I'm like, okay, this person should obviously move on, but the votes go the other way and you can't do anything about it. And I've seen other creators do this, where the vote will go away that they don't agree with, and they'll be like, okay, well, it's my channel, so I'm gonna move this one on. I'm not gonna say any names or calling one out, but I'm like, man, that's not what the vote said. That's not what the chat said. So I promise you here, right hand to the world, whatever the votes say, that's where it's gonna go. So
nice.
Yeah, even if it's something I don't agree with. Val, the General, is in the chat. How's it going, General? Thank you so much for being here as well.
Val, salute.
Yeah, there you go. Russell saying it too. The General's in the house. She's saying, "What's up, Marcus?" Man, I think a lot of people here missed you.
I missed them too. I missed a lot of people as well. I'm glad to be back. You know what I mean? Ready to get some more content rolling out. Like ready to get back. To old times. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm so glad you're out and glad we can start working on this stuff again, doing these live streams, collaborating on projects and stuff. So it's really good to have you back, my man.
Absolutely, man. Trust me, it feels so damn good to be back, and like I said, just ready to get this ball rolling again, get this momentum that I had, back in order and just continue to watch all of us here, in this little community and this family that we have here on YouTube continue to grow and our channels prosper and, just continue to love where this direction for our favorite, I would like to say our favorite genre, horror, is going. There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
I think we're in a good spot now. I'm afraid, I'm going to be honest, I'm scared for next year. I'm a little scared for next year because of the strikes. Historically, after a long strike of writers and actors, the content you get is not good for a short amount of time because they're using anything bottom of the barrel they had to keep going.
Right.
So historically, right after a strike, content kind of dips in quality a little bit. However, I know there's going to be a few things coming out that are good, and right now horror is in a good place. I just saw A Wonderful Knife, loved that. Seeing
I gotta watch that still yet. I keep hearing about that. I gotta watch it.
It's good, man. It's not how I initially expected it to be, like a whodunit. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's not really a whodunit. So
okay.
So keep that in mind.
All
really quick, before we move on, I see a little knock at the door here. Let me take this down and bring on one of my best friends in this YouTube community. Absolutely stellar creator who I think his work ethic makes everyone else on YouTube look like this is a vacation for them. And I mean, dudes, and if you haven't subscribed to him, you have to, because interviews, breaking news, anything you need in terms of horror, this guy has got it. He's got the hookups and he gives them to you. So without further ado, my good buddy Craven Something Scary.
Wow, bro, what an intro, dude! I'm like, who's he talking about? Let me look around the room.
I gotta return the favor, man. You always give me a good one. I gotta give you your props as well.
Wow, thank you. I'm very humbled by what you said, man. I that means a lot to me. Thank you. That was wow. I'm gonna clip that out. Do that as a bumper on my videos.
Feel free, man. It's all yours.
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate the invite. Sorry I'm so late. I really apologize.
Don't even worry about it. We haven't even actually started the rankings yet. We were just going through the chat and talking a little bit about horror and stuff.
Okay.
Really quick, just to rerun over the rules for this. So there are 13 ghost faces. If you were confirmed as a ghost face, killed someone in costume, and made a phone call, that's the criteria to make a list. So if there's someone not on the list who was highly suspected but never confirmed, that's why they're not there. Angelina, we all know who we're talking about. And
absolutely.
Also, if you were a ghost face but you never made a kill, such as Greg.
Oh yeah.
So that's our criteria. Moving on, and I mean, I think we go ahead and jump into this ranking here. Into the bracket and start off with our first competitions, if that's good with everyone.
Sounds good. And by the way, Marcus, want to say hello, man. I had a chance to say hi.
Good What's to see up, you, bro? My friend? Good to see you too, buddy.
Always, man.
All right. Before we do this, everyone in the chat, just throw out a number between 1 and 15. Because we're gonna randomize this here, and it's gonna be so that there's no trickery going on here. This is all actually, that looks awful. Let's move.
I can't really see it, bro, but with your help, Eric, you can help me.
I'm gonna say I have my computer loaded up, so I'll be able to help too.
Hold on a second. I think I can actually.
Oh, now we're getting there.
Is that better?
That's a little. Can you do the one you just did, or is that too big?
I can do it. It just might be a little.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That other one's okay. That's better. Yeah, that's definitely better.
Okay, so yeah, that's about as big as we can go for now.
Okay,
but
that's fine. I'm going full screen, so I can't see any of the chat. So if anyone says anything, Eric, you just let me know. I can't. Worth. I mean, like what is something that someone's asking me or something, but I can go full screen and I'm good. I'm good to go.
Gotcha. All right, man. Okay, so I see the first number that jumped out to me was 14 from Jen. So here's what I'm going to do. And we can count them off together here. This is going to randomize the names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So,
Sorry.
oh no, man. Believe me, that first matchup I saw, I'm like, oh, we know who's we
I'm
know
just
where that's
saying,
going.
man. This kid's got no shot.
Okay, so and this is the kind of competition, and I'm like, there's no competition there. And honestly,
no.
We know who's moving on. So, all right. So our first competition, everyone. Hold on. Let me go start the tournament button or start the tournament. Where is that's not it. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me stop. Yeah. Let me figure out how to start this here. I completely forgot about that.
Absolutely. While you're doing that, and Marcus, I think I overheard you backstage saying you haven't seen It's a Wonderful Knife yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, man. Dude, go definitely check it out. I've seen it twice, and
oh man, if you've seen it twice, it has to be good.
I enjoyed it. I did. Eric, what Eric mentioned earlier was right. It's don't go into it expecting the trailer pretty much lets you know, and it really, but yeah, it's a little different. It's not like a Scream whodunit. It's a different kind of movie.
Okay.
But it's still fun. It's a lot of fun, dude. So
okay.
Now
you gotta always keep your mind open to different things.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's really cool. And I got to meet the production designer last night, dude. And
I saw that.
She is, oh man. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, if you haven't seen it, you got it. Even there's no spoilers. We just, but what she revealed about some of the things, and you get to see how she formulated the costume with like drawings and renderings and all the way to the full. It's really neat. So tons of behind the scenes photos that she shared with me, like 30 of them, 20. I'm at 20 of them probably. Anyway, I say all that to say it's a fun movie. So
yeah, I want to check it out. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, man, it'll be on Shudder. Probably next month, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Probably a couple more weeks, in the theaters, and then on to Shudder for Christmas. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's definitely on the list.
Yeah. And then Thanksgiving. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I don't know what just happened, but it's the bracket is has been reset really quick, so it's going to take me just a minute to get that reset up. So feel free to keep chatting amongst yourself here. Just 1 second.
Oh yeah, no worries. So I was going to say Thanksgiving that comes out this week.
Mm-hmm.
That looks more like a Scream type whodunit. Like I've heard Scream meets Halloween vibe. What do you think about have you seen the trailer for it yet or not?
I didn't get to watch the trailer. I didn't know it was coming out that soon. I thought it was going to be a little bit more closer to like the end of Thanksgiving. I'm going to have to check out the trailer, but I did see Wolfman Got Nards. He did like a little mini review, no spoilers and stuff like that. And from what the title says, I'm assuming it's really good. I did see some other reviews online, and they're like raving about it, saying it's like a kind of like a classic the way they're talking about it. Like, so we'll see.
Yeah, man, it looks like, and I'm not saying anything that's not in the trailer because I haven't seen the movie, but it's basically a masked killer dressed as a pilgrim, Thanksgiving pilgrim.
Nice.
And
that's different.
It's different costume and pilgrim, and they're killing people. Obviously, great kills on there already. And one of the characters is like, we got to figure out the connection between all the victims. So I'm like, oh, dude, it's a real like Scream type whodunit where you're trying to piece it together, and I'm sure we'll get the big reveal at the end. So. Yeah, man, it gets. I know, dude. It gets me going too. I know.
It sounds really interesting. Might have to check it out.
Yeah, man. It's it should be good. And yeah, man, but it's a wonderful night. Very happy with that one too. And I mean, I don't know in December if we've got much coming out. I think this seems to be like, I mean, that's
We're
not
winding down.
We're winding down, yeah.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the year. They had a big, fall time, / Halloween time with all these movies coming out and stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's absolutely crushed it.
Loved it.
Absolutely crushed it. Like, I did not expect that movie to do that well.
Yeah.
Like, people really turned out for it, and people liked it. I liked it a lot. I think another thing, and I saw, and after I watched the movie and I started digging into it a little bit, what a lot of people are not talking about, it was talked about like months ago, but what they're not talking about now, like kind of refreshing of like bringing up to speed, is the fact that Matthew, I think, has signed on for 2 more.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah, like he signed on for 2 more. So, always come back.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go, man. Oh, man. It was really good. I enjoyed that movie. Like, especially for a PG-13 movie, it definitely did, it did a lot of things, especially in terms of suspense, better than even some rated R horror movies. So, did a really good job with that movie. I'm interested to see what direction they go next.
Me too, man. Very excited about it. I love that. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, it's I'm ready. I'm ready. I look forward to seeing the next one because the way it ended. That you know what I'm talking about, the way it ended.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh boy, yeah, we're not done here yet. So
no, we're not. It's going to be fun, man. I will say this. I mean, we should. I mean, if it's still, I know what you did last summer is going to still be happening. We should be getting news on that soon.
Yeah.
What I'm interested to know about is what's going on with this Lost Boys remake. Or yeah, I mean, me personally, I wish they kind of wouldn't touch it, but we all know at some point it's just going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm interested to see what's going on with that, because last year, like, they started coming out with reports about it and stuff, saying they have Noah Japay and Jaden Martell, and then ever since, nothing.
Same. Heard nothing.
So
either.
I wonder if that's even going to still happen.
The strike probably shut things down too.
That's a good point.
It definitely did for a lot of things. So, all right, everyone, I got the bracket all fully set up and ready to go. Here's the problem: when I reset it, the matchups changed. I did click 14 times again, but the matchups changed. I can just so you know, I'm not trying to do anything. Not trying to show favoritism. Anything, just saying they changed. So,
well, then if it's changed, I can say this now. Ethan would have got his rear end tore up by Macher. Let me tell you.
Did you see the very first competition was actually Roman Bridger versus Amber Freeman.
Oh, give me the sourpuss. Where's the face?
I don't have that. You got to send that to me. I don't have the sourpuss. All right, so
I got to get that to you, man.
Okay, so here we go, everyone. This is the new the competitions we have so far.
Okay.
So our first competition, as you can see here, let me make sure I got the right one, is going to be. Oh, I still got to start the dang it. Okay, here we go. Tournament started. Our first competition, Ethan Landry versus Roman Bridger. Now, gentlemen, what are we thinking? Who do you have?
I mean, look, man. I gotta. Here's Ethan is about the most unintimidating, least scary Ghostface of the franchise. I mean, I think Greg was scarier than him, and he was in a fridge, chopped up. So, I mean, for me, this is easy. Roman Bridger would tear him in half. Those are my thoughts.
I mean, that's kind of my thought too. But Marcus, you got anything to add on that?
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. Roman would destroy poor little Ethan. Like,
Oh yeah.
he stands no chance. And it's a shame because I personally do feel that he did cop some kills in Scream 6. And I felt like underneath the costume, he did pretty good, but he's not messing with Roman. Roman would absolutely obliterate him.
Roman would absolutely body Ethan. So I got to agree. So I'm going to put my the panel's 3 vote. Oh, that's Ethan. The panel's 3 votes are all.
I was going to say, don't let's don't have another election. No, just kidding.
Okay, so let's look at the poll here. We do have 1 vote for Ethan in the poll.
Wow.
Now we got 2 votes for Ethan in the poll.
Really?
So
wow.
I guess
sympathy votes can count. I guess.
Well, I will say, because from what we know, he had to be the one in the apartment.
Yeah.
He did have a little bit of an intimidating air about him, and I'm assuming that he's the one who killed Quinn's boyfriend, who was in the tub.
Dude, come on now.
Just saying.
Well, that's that's possible. I just can't picture. This is just me. I just cannot picture Ethan killing Jason. I mean, that Ghostface in that apartment was
no. I meant the apartment where Annika dies.
Oh, okay. I'm like, dude, there's no way that was in my mind. That could have been Ethan killing Jason. That had to have been Bailey.
No, so he's the one
with
the ladder and Annika, and that's also where Quinn's boyfriend was killed. So,
got you. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I will say I really liked after he killed Annika, just the confidence he had about him. There was an air of confidence about him. So I'll say I didn't hate that. So we're gonna go ahead. It looks like all the votes have come in. We've got going to go ahead and end the poll, and it looks like out of 13 votes, Roman got 84%, Ethan got 15. I don't know how it only adds up to 99, but that's 2 votes for Ethan, 11 for Roman. So we're going to add those in there. Ethan gets his 2 votes. We're going to go up to 14 for Roman, and Roman Bridger moves on. Our next this is a good competition. Oh, this is okay. So this is just lucky. We got Amber Freeman versus Jill Roberts. Marcus, I already know how one person on this panel feels about Jill Roberts. So Marcus, let's start with you, and then we'll go down.
Jill would just manhandle that girl. Like, Jill would. To me, it's not even close, and that's just me. And the reason why I say that is because Amber even at one point was trying to puss out. When she, said, no, wait, I was radicalized. I just wanted to be a part of something. Jill was willing to go full stop with whatever her plan was. And just her tenacity in the end, like the way she, did what she did to herself, like Amber wasn't going to be willing to do that. Jill would destroy her. That's, to me, that's a landslide.
I'll save my opinions, but yeah, it's Steven. I'm pretty sure I know what your opinions are, my friend. But
yeah, I mean, listen, you guys know Jill is my 3rd favorite Ghostface in the franchise, so that's how high I rank Jill. I think Jill absolutely. I mean, Marcus brings up a good point. You've got one sitting here begging to not be attacked anymore, and you got another one stabbing themselves in the shoulder. And I mean, to me, when you talk about the mental side of it, Amber was very unhinged, but Jill was very in control. And to me, that's much more terrifying because Jill would look at Amber and Amber would be going crazy. Jill would be like a surgeon. You're dead. Right. You're calm and unleash on her. So I think, Amber would try to put up a fight. I'm not going to say it's not like an Ethan Roman scenario in my book. However, I think Jill absolutely comes out on top. She's way too calm. She's way too committed. And that to me is all usually will win out.
Yeah, I got to say I'm in agreement. The demeanor that Jill had about her after the reveal, it wasn't like over the top crazy, like, oh my God, I'm getting away with it. It was, this has been my plan all along.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what roadblocks come, it's going to come to fruition. And
yes,
my vote's going for Jill as well. She is, in my opinion, and I say this all the time, she was the closest to actually get to killing Sidney Prescott.
She was really, yeah.
Her and the next closest was Roman.
Yep, that's right.
So, but Jill Prescott was the closest, or Jill Roberts was the closest to actually killing Sidney Prescott. So, all three of my, three of the panel votes, unanimous, all going to Jill. Not surprising there. We're gonna go ahead and end the poll here. We got, once again, it's the same breakdown this time. 15% for Amber, 85 for Jill. So that's 2 votes for Amber, nice. 11 for Jill. Wow. And I'm okay with that. Here's the thing: if you can justify Amber, good on you. She wasn't. She's no lightweight. She did most of the killing in that movie.
Yeah, dude, got to give her credit for that.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, she's my daughter's favorite Ghostface. I'm like, okay, hey, look, that's all right. If that's your favorite, that's great.
Okay.
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, but yeah. And I have to say real quick, totally separate, Eric, before we go on. And I know you know this, Eric, because you saw the movie, but Marcus, one of the characters in It's a Wonderful Knife is named Gail Prescott.
Wow. Yeah, I got to watch this movie.
There was a lot of. I feel like there was a lot of callbacks in that movie. It paid homage to a lot of movies.
It did. It really did.
That's just gold. That's the cherry on top for Gail and Sydney's relationship.
Yeah, Gail Prescott, man. Michael Kennedy is a huge Scream fan. Huge. So anyway, sorry, Eric, go ahead, man.
No, you're all good, man. All right, we got Wayne Bailey versus his son Richie.
That's more evenly matched, actually.
I think it is, because Richie, post reveal, I thought Richie was great.
Yeah.
So,
and he killed.
First this time.
What was that?
I said, Steven, you want to go first this time with your thoughts?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think of Richie, I always think of the West kill. It has a brutal attack, dude. That slow entry and exit of the neck was just, gosh, dude. I because of my presuppositions that shade my opinion of Wayne Bailey, because I presuppose that Stu Macher was in the bodega. I don't care what Radio Silence said, because of the math. And Eric, you know all about, you're the one that turned me on to that at first. I stick with that theory, so it's hard for me. I don't think Wayne's all that tough. Of course, it was me. Anyway, I have to say, I do think Richie would take his dad. I think he'd win that.
I'll save mine. Marcus, what do you think, man? We got one for Richie. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the board. We got one for Richie Kirsch.
Yeah.
Hey, this is tough for me. It's tough because I do think that Wayne, when he was in the costume, he definitely had some brutal kills, especially that Jason kill. It was pretty good. But I'd have to go with Richie. And I just feel like if it was to come down between them two, because Richie is so dedicated to this, the stab and being this, and what he, was trying to accomplish in 5, I think he would take his dad out, because even Wayne said it in Scream 6. You know, this stuff was a little dark for him. You know,
That's true.
Richie was basically a student of those who came before. So I'd have to give that to Richie, but that would be a good one. That would be a good one, I think.
Well, you know what? You know what Wayne would tell Richie if this was to happen? He would look at his son dead in the eyes, and he would say, "You die.
You die.
You die." That's it, man. Turn on his inner dark night, man.
Yeah, let's go. Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, Marcus, you're also for Richie?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go Wayne, and my reasoning is we do know for certain he's the one who killed Jason in the opening.
Yeah. Yep.
But what we also I can assume is he's also the one who killed Greg, and that he literally like demolished Greg. Like Greg was in pieces.
Where's he had an axe for that, man. He had to have an axe somewhere. And
either way, whatever he used to do it, that's brutality.
Yeah.
And I think of I just think of like and I can't really say much because Wayne kind of did it to an extent as well, but Richie laying on the ground, what about my movie?
Right.
Like
yeah.
So I'm for those reasons, I'm going Wayne. Either way, I think this, as of now, this would have been the best fight to see.
I do too. It's very even.
Yeah, I agree.
So Richie, Richie's his only training, if you want to use that word, has been watching horror movies. Wayne, as a police officer in any context, has at least had some training.
It's true.
So, and if we go back to my original statement with this, if these two were locked in a room, each of them had a knife, only one could come out. Personally, I think Wayne's the one walking out.
Could be. I mean, Richie had age on his side a little bit, but you know, Wayne still was. I mean, he was. You know, like I said, I think it's very even. Physically,
I mean, Richie was a strong, virile young man.
And that's right, man, baby, man, baby.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stop. That is surprising. Okay, the poll. Where'd the poll go? Oh, there it is. Okay, we got 16 votes, 62% for Wayne.
Wow. What? I'm surprised. Okay.
So that means 10 for Wayne. Yeah, 10 for Wayne. No, 9 for Wayne, 7 for Richie. Oh, wow. That's surprising. I was not expecting that. So mine for Wayne and then 9 more for Wayne.
Well,
that makes 10. So that's close because with yours 2 votes, that makes it a 10-9.
Wow.
So I think that's about as close as we're going to get on this competition.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, this is a good one, y'all. Wow. Charlie Walker versus Nancy Loomis. Battle of the Crazy Eyes.
Yeah, if this was an eye battle, Nancy walks away on this hands down.
Bro, no one is defeating Nancy on a Crazy Eyes battle.
No, not at all.
All right, polls in the chat. What do you guys think on this one? This one should be an interesting one.
It is.
Marcus, I mean, you go ahead, man. I went first last time.
I think I know who Marcus is going to pick.
I think I do too. We'll see.
It's tough, actually. It's not as easy as you guys might think. Man, that's a tough one.
Well, let's see. We know for a fact that Nancy killed Randy. So
right.
We can look at the Randy kill, but then you can compare it to we know for a fact that Richie killed Olivia.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at is Charlie killing her.
Yeah.
And just other stuff that we know that he did, or at least assume that had to have been him. I'm going to go with, Charlie, and it's not because, I'm a big Charlie Walker fan. I just feel like I just feel like, him being a little bit younger, I mean, unless of course she's got the gun, then that might be something. But you said locked in a room with a knife. She did get knife happy with Randy, but I'd still have to go with Charlie because, man, I always say it. That boy under the Ghostface costume, he was tenacious, man. Like, and I just think that tenacity would, overrule in this matchup. Even though Nancy, though, like, I don't like to sleep on her because I feel like, she's definitely up there.
Mhm.
She is, and there's some good. Looks like the chat is actually split on this one.
It's a tough matchup. That's what I say. Like, it's as a Charlie Walker fan, it's not. This ain't as easy as calling it as one would think. It's not. That's a good matchup.
I agree, and I love Dino's comment. Charlie's winning, but Miss Loomis is going to leave him beat up for sure.
Yeah,
And
like
Oh yeah.
it's neither one of them's coming out of there unscathed. Whoever wins,
No.
it's not going to be by much.
I agree.
You
So,
know
okay.
what makes me sick?
We got one for Charlie Walker. So see where you going, man.
Wow. Here's my thing, man. My instincts, my gut, my whatever you want to call it, it wants to do Nancy, but two things are swaying me to Charlie on this, and it's what one of them Marcus already talked about. One is the Olivia kill. Oh, dude, that's honestly the most brutal kill since Casey Becker. And then my second favorite kill of Scream 4 is the knife to the forehead of Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I mean, this guy was drinking Red Bull. He was adrenaline was pumping, and it's so hard. And honestly, this really is not easy. But I do believe I'm gonna have to say Charlie would win this, but he would come out limping and bloody.
Yeah. He would.
He would have some stab wounds.
I agree.
Yeah, and we're also going to be unanimous on this one and for me, it goes back to that Olivia kill. Because here's the thing.
Gosh.
I don't think Charlie was out of control with the Olivia kill. And
Mhm.
that's what's scary to me.
Yes.
He was able to do that completely in his right mind
Mhm.
and with intent. Whereas I think Miss Loomis with the Randy kill, I think she just lost it, and that's why she went
Right.
there. When she's calm and collected, I don't think she's got the edge to her.
Right.
And someone did throw it out there, Philip. Miss Loomis had rage on her side. That's true.
Right. True.
However, I don't think if we're pitting them against each other, she's not gonna have that same rage toward Charlie. And Charlie didn't care. He didn't have rage. He was just doing it to get famous. So I would give it to Charlie Walker as well. So my vote is going Charlie Walker. And I think we're gonna call we're gonna call the poll there as well. And
I'm interested to see how this is going to end.
It's the exact same breakdown as last time. We got 62% to Charlie, 37 to Nancy with 16 votes. So that means 9 votes for Charlie, 7 votes for Nancy. So
wow.
And I don't think anyone who voted for Nancy, I can't take anything from you.
Nope.
Not at all.
She was determined, and those crazy eyes, man. I cannot.
Makes me want to turn it on, Eric, right now. I want to fire it up in the background.
I'm not going to lie. You guys got me wanting to fire it up, too.
Oh, my gosh. Where is she? Did I not? Oh, did I run out of overlays?
Did we lose Nancy?
No. Here she is. Look at that.
Oh, dude.
Look at
Bro,
that. Look at that.
Tell me if the shit wasn't coming. If you looked up and saw her walking towards you, you wouldn't be freaking out, bro. Seriously.
Man, I would have a heart attack. I would run the other way so fast. But here's the thing. Then you got this guy. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not a fan of the hair, but
what-
but he's very calm.
that's what gets me about him. Is like,
Yeah,
he's this calm. He's murdered at least 4 people by this point.
Mm-hmm.
right.
It's like that scares me that he can live a normal life and put on this facade while brutally murdering people. So
It's true.
Another testament to that is when, Gail approaches him and Robbie, about, doing the whole interview and cinema club and stuff like that. And Gail is basically giving away all her plans, and he's just standing there nonchalantly smirking at her like, yep. Mm-hmm.
like he's basically like, bro, you're gonna get destroyed if you come
Yeah,
after me.
exactly.
All right, so Charlie Walker has moved on to the net. I don't think he's moving on again, but we'll see. Okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh man, this is a battle of crazy eyes too.
Oh, bro.
Because I got to pull this photo up because we've talked about this before. I absolutely love Quinn as a killer post reveal, and you already know that that look.
Yep.
She's got broken teeth. She's literally spitting teeth out, bleeding, and she's happy about what she's about to do. Y'all, let's not sleep on Quinn.
Right.
Because she is, oh, man. Then, of course, we got old Timothy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Boyfriend killer.
Now, who's doing that?
Yeah, who's doing that? When you ask your mother if you had a mother.
Yeah. It's like, this is exactly the kind of boy you'd like to bring home to mom. If you had a mom.
That's so.
And then sit. Oh, so vulgar.
This
is actually a very interesting matchup because they both say the exact same line in the end.
They do.
Because Mickey says it once Nancy Loomis is revealed. Didn't see that coming, did you?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, when she's revealed, didn't see that coming, did you?
Yep.
All right. Let me get this poll up. Y'all want to start? Who do you think's taking this one?
Man. Here's the thing, all right. I wish Quinn had been involved way more in Scream 6 than she was. I know this is obviously I'm rabbit trailing, but I wish Ethan had been the fake out and he just would have been gone and we could have had Quinn in the movie. But whatever. I can't change it. But I loved her that much. Her little bit of time she had, she did great. But back to the story, Quinn or Mickey. Look, I have to go with my gut and say Mickey absolutely would win this. I think Quinn could perhaps match him crazy for crazy. All right.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'll give her that.
I like that. Crazy for crazy.
Crazy for crazy. They're tied. But I think physically, Mickey was built, and again, this is not a sexist thing. He was strong. He was, I just got to go with Mickey on this, man. And Mickey, I think could take on a lot of people in this Ghostface roster. So, yeah, I'm going with Mickey, but I like Quinn, and I wish we'd have had more of her.
Yeah, I agree. I will say Quinn got hit square in the face with a brick and it didn't even slow her down.
That's right.
So I'll just throw that out there. So we got one for Mickey. Marcus, man, how you going on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mickey too, just because of the limited amount of time we got Quinn as Ghostface. Like if we would have gotten a little bit more time to where we know, like, okay, she did this kill, she did that, then it might be a little bit different because that shot that you just showed, like, she was the most believable out of the Baileys.
100% agree.
So yeah, like she was the most believable Ghostface out of them three. So, like I like Quinn too. I just wish we would have got a little bit more of her. I agree with Steven. And I do think that Mickey, because we got to see firsthand how psychotic Mickey was. Like, plus I remember when we did a bracket like this before, Eric, you brought up the fact that he was already an active serial killer. So
That's the thing. He was already in that. So we don't even know how many people he killed before this.
Nope.
Right, exactly. So I'd have to give that edge to Mickey.
I gotta pull this comment up because Jamie, both Quinn and Mickey are crazy. They should hook up. That would be the scariest kids.
Wow.
If they had kids, they would be pinnacle Ghostface. Like double the crazy with their. Just saying. Okay, so I will also have to give it, unfortunately, to Mickey. I absolutely adore Quinn, but what you guys already said. We just did not have enough time with her. I was thinking, Steven, when you said it, you wish Ethan would have been the fake out.
Yep.
You literally read my mind because I was thinking the exact same thing. If Ethan had been the fake death and we had gotten Quinn doing all these things, that would have been amazing.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
But
that was a mistake in writing. That was a mistake.
Yeah, but because of the story we got, I'm gonna have to cast my vote for Mickey as well. So Mickey's up 3-0 by the panel. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and end the poll there. And it looks like 12 votes, 75% to Mickey, which means 8 votes Mickey, 4 votes Quinn. That's not bad.
But see, I was just about to say, see, that's not even bad though for Quinn, for the simple fact she was hardly in it, and people, a lot of us fans, still look at her like look, her Ghostface was legit enough to garner her that many votes against a killer that is very popular in the franchise. Like Mickey is loved.
Oh yeah,
he's my third favorite Ghostface. Mickey.
Yeah, so that's a good accountant on Quinn's behalf, especially for not unfortunately having much to work with.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so this is gonna be a good one too. This is a tough one. We got Stu Macher versus Roman Bridger. This is tough. I'm gonna say I obviously like one of these more than the other. However, this isn't favoritism. This is they both go into that room. Who's walking out? I don't know who wants to start this off. This is
Marcus, you can start us off, buddy. Those are the rules.
So look at him.
Yeah.
Look at how delightful of a time he's having terrorizing this person.
And that's where it's gonna, go for me. Do I think that Roman is the best Ghostface of all time? That I have him as my number one on the bracket that I recently did. Yeah, but if it's coming down to a versus between him and Stu, I just think that the fact that Stu, there is no motive, there is no predictability. Roman, he had that motive. We know why he did what he did. And I had to say that Stu, that unpredictability, that not knowing why he's doing this other than just for fun, I think that would give him the advantage in a knife fight with Roman. I do. And it would be a heck of a matchup, though. Wow.
Seeing those two go at it, because I think they're both. I mean, here's the thing.
That's tough.
Stu's what, like 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, Matthew 6'4".
He's a big guy. So, I just, you got. I feel like you got to take those things into account, like size. But also, I'm gonna be honest. I want Stu to come out. For me, it's Stu Macher. I think, and Marcus, you hit the nail on the head, man. Just how unpredictable he's going to be. And look at the damage he took and kept going.
Kept going.
Like he did not give up. even when a TV was dropped on his head, he was still alive. I don't care what anyone says.
That's right.
Even when a TV
Yup.
was dropped on this man's
Right.
face, still
Sure
alive.
was.
So
Yes.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my pick in for Stu Macher, but this is another one where if you vote whoever you vote for, I don't think there's a wrong choice.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you can make a case for Roman. But guys, Stu Macher is going to win this, and I mean, I really, when Marcus started talking about the motive, that was exactly what I was thinking, bro. You've got a guy who enjoys killing because he loves to kill,
Right.
and it's totally different than taking revenge out on your sister for having the life you deserved. That's a very targeted motive, and when you got a guy here that says it was fun killing your mother, this guy, that's a whole different mental place. So I think he would go in that room, he would size up Roman, and he's like, let's party, let's go, I'm ready, and so I got to go with Stu Macher, guys. I think it would be a good fight, but Roman would be fighting for survival. Stu would be fighting to kill Roman, and that's you know what I'm saying.
I like how you put that.
That's a really, really good way to put it. Fighting for survival. Yeah, and that's the thing, because I'm trying to think here. We know what Stu did, but Roman. It's tough though. I know you're going for Stu. So I'll put your vote in there. But once again, this is a tough one. This is going to be the closest one.
This might be.
Oh, okay. I'm ending the poll because it's been 4 minutes. The poll has Roman 53% to 46%.
Oh,
but that's hold on.
Come on.
That's not counting our votes, because and everyone, just so everyone knows, we can't. If you're on the panel, I don't think can you all vote? I can't vote in the panel. I can't.
I don't know.
So
I'm not sure.
We're not voting in the chat, in the poll in the chat. So that's why I'm counting our votes separately. So 53 to 46. That means 8 votes for Roman, 7 for Stu. Okay, so Roman's getting 8, but 7 for Stu on top of our 3.
So that gives
that gives Stu is squeaking by.
Love it.
Oh,
love it. Let's go.
I said this at the beginning, and I meant it. If Stu had lost, I would not have moved him on. I would have hated it. I would have been upset, but I wouldn't have moved him on. But with our vote, with the panel votes included, he's moving on.
All right.
Ooh, okay. So next,
Stu train's rolling.
Okay. Here, this is an interesting one. Jill Roberts versus Wayne Bailey.
That is interesting.
Because I'm going to say it, just in sheer size. Because Jill's what, 5'5"?
5.
Yeah.
I think she's even shorter than that, but maybe not. Could be right.
Hold on.
I thought she was like 5'2", 5'3".
She's 5'2". Emma
So
Roberts is 5'2", and then Dermot Mulroney, height, he's 5'10".
Yeah.
So he's got definite size on her. If it was just a battle like Will versus Will, I would give it to her. Easy. But taking in that size difference,
she's probably a lot quicker than Wayne, though.
I will say she's probably got the speed for sure.
Yeah.
And we saw the damage she would do to herself to get away with
it.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm just not overly impressed with Wayne Bailey. I just never have been. It's just my own opinion and perspective, but Jill Roberts is, again, she's probably the most depraved Ghostface we've ever seen. We've never seen anyone else mutilate or do that, hurt themselves. Anybody's, nobody, even Stu and Billy had to do it to each other. She's doing it to herself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other level of depravity, bro. And I just have to say, I think the craziest person is going to win most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's crazier than Wayne. She's just blank crazy in the best of ways. So I'm going to vote for Jill. Yeah.
All right. I'll throw you. What do you got, Marcus?
It is tough, but I would have to go with Jill too. And I'm not even just playing into it because the physical, that would be insurmountable, But I would like to think, some of the psychology aspect would take into it, maybe some words before the battle, if you will. And I think she would take him out of his game. And I think in that moment where she would take him out of his game, that's where it's over, because she's an opportunist. And that's why I look at it with Jill from this standpoint. She is an opportunist. And like Steven said, she is way more crazier than Wayne, So I just think, given that said, I would have to go with Jill. I mean, it's hard, though, because, Wayne, you do have to take into his account, like Eric said earlier, his police training and all that stuff. But, you made an excellent point. The speed, too. Like,
And here's another thing
she'll be able to finagle around, that a little bit. And
she's younger, too, just to throw that in there.
And something else is Wayne is going to way underestimate her.
Right.
Like he's going to underestimate her completely because we saw what he did, how he underestimated Sam, and we saw what happened. So
that's a good point.
So Wayne is a little probably overconfident, which is going to be a little bit of a problem too. So to take that into effect.
Yes, I agree with that.
Brother. So who you got, Marcus? You going with Jill? You going with Wayne?
Yeah, Jill.
Okay. This is one of, as weird as it is, it's one of the toughest choices for me because you got the crazy and the training with Bailey, but then you got the crazy and the determination.
Yeah.
And you got speed and unpredictable. I would say Jill is also unpredictable. I don't know about y'all, but when she started staging the crime scene after she thought everything was done, I was not expecting that whatsoever.
Me neither.
Actually, that's one of the things, I'll throw it out there. One of the things I loved about Scream 4, we actually got to look into the insight of what a Ghostface would do after they think they got away with it. We haven't gotten that any other time.
It's true.
She thinks it's done. She thinks it's over. We got to look into the psyche of what they would do once they got away with it. And that's awesome. That's another, once again, 4 has that. No other movie has it. Well, that's not true. Roman. We kind of got it with Roman. But anyways, so as tough as it is, I'm actually going to give it to Bailey, though.
Okay.
Just because how many times did Sam stab him and he didn't go down? Like he was in the 30s. Like he got like 30 stab wounds to like the sides, but that's like where your lungs are and the shoulder, and like he kept going.
It's true.
He didn't die. So I think, although he wasn't really fighting back, he was.
He wasn't.
You know what? I'm going Jill. I changed. I'm going Jill because he could take the damage, but he wasn't trying to keep. Okay.
He was a pincushion, dude. He was just kind of taking it.
Okay. So
and then what does he do, Eric? Remember what he does at the end? Whenever she stops stabbing him, he's like, "Thank you." He's like, thanking her for not killing him. Like, dude, come on, man.
Oh wow, that's surprising. Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll, y'all. This was I did not expect this. We got 64% for Jill, 50 or
Nice.
35 for Wayne with 14 votes. So I think that's
Okay.
what 8 for Jill, 6 for Wayne.
It's another close one.
It is.
Yep.
That's really close. So we add 8 more to Jill, take it up to 11. Oh, and 6 for Wayne. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really expect Jill to move on that quick. All right.
Yeah.
This is a.
Oh, dude.
I think. So first, we got this. This is what we got, right?
We got this.
We got this, but then we got this.
Oh yeah,
bro. Look at those eyes.
Whew.
I don't know about y'all, but I already know who I'm going with. We got Billy Loomis, the OG, versus Charlie Walker.
This is chilling Marcus.
The new hotness.
Marcus is like, why does it have to be this matchup?
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. Because I'm looking on, because I got it blown up on my computer and it's on a slight little delay. So then once I see the matchup, I'm just like, oh man, like really? Like,
wow. Well, you know what, Marcus, I'll give you some time. I'll go first then. Let you mull it over. Look, man, you guys know I was just talking about how, I respect Charlie's kills, Olivia and Perkins, just talking about that. And all due respect to Charlie, I think Billy physically could overpower Charlie. He's much, his frame is much, he's just a bigger guy, right?
Yeah.
And in size. Not that that's always what matters, as we've been talking about, but I really believe Billy Loomis would turn around in him and say, we all go a little mad sometimes. And he would just unleash. That was it. Yeah, he would just unleash on him. So all due respect, and I mean that to Charlie, I have to say Billy Loomis is who I would put my money on if I had to. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, what?
Marcus,
I want everybody to know. Y'all probably see it wearing on my face. This pains me, and I mean pains me to have to do this. But I got to go with Billy. It is what it is. And we talked about at the top of the stream, Eric, you can have a favorite Ghostface, but you have to be realistic with these matchups. And Billy would throttle Charlie.
Yeah.
Steven makes an excellent point. The physicality, the maturity, though, too, as a psychopath.
That's true, man.
That's what I look at, is the maturity that Billy has compared to what Charlie has at that point in his life. And I love Charlie. That's my boy. I advocate for him full-heartedly, but not in this matchup. To me, it's not. This is actually one of the ones that's not even really kind of close. I think Billy would wipe the floor with him. I mean, Charlie has that tenacity. Yes, he does. But in terms of the maturity of a psychopath and a serial killer, Billy checks all the boxes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I went ahead and put 3 up there because my vote's also going to Billy. Billy is, obviously you have Roman that comes later, in the movie series, but Billy's the OG. He's the reason this starts. So I can't take that. That for me, that accounts for a lot. Plus, Skeet Ulrich is 6 foot tall, and I think
Roy's 5'6", 5'5", 5'6".
Yeah, 5'6". Even if you give him 5'6", 5'7", that's still 5 inches of height, 5 inches of reach. That's still a lot of physical advantages to Billy. So for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my vote out there for Billy. But
yeah, man. Well,
I like this from Jamie.
Oh,
Jamie says motive creates energy. I agree. That's true. It does give you a purpose for going on. However, I think lack of motive creates fear. Like the fact, like Stu Macher. Stu Macher didn't have motive. He didn't.
No.
And that makes him the scariest Ghostface to me.
Mhm.
I've said that from day one, because if you know what someone's motive is, you know how to avoid it. There
True.
is no avoiding Stu Macher. If he wants to
No.
kill you, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
true.
right.
so, but I will definitely agree, Jamie. Motive creates energy, and that would keep. But I think Charlie had a motive. I think he was trying to impress Jill and gain that fame. And I think he had a motive. I don't think his motive was as good, but we'll see what the chat has come up with. Someone, Caden, saying this is a landslide. I tend to agree. And this is something else. Russell's pointing out. Terry up the couch. And Dino pointed it out too. The way Terry up the couch, he would that was sheer drive at that point. That's the level of, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to find her and finish this. And that is terrifying in its own right.
And the way he was screaming, remember? That's just second do it. But he was screaming, cutting that stuff open. Just he was unhinged, totally unhinged, man. And God, he had such rage within him, and he knew how to control it, but he also knew how to turn it on.
Right.
So,
and that speaks to what Marcus was saying with the maturity.
Yes.
Just Caden was correct. It's 100% for Billy. 14 votes.
Wow. Wow, 100%.
I wouldn't have judged anyone for saying Charlie, because Charlie had some. I can never overlook Charlie because of that Olivia kill. I talk about it so much because it's that impactful for me. But y'all, I think this one's going to be a quick round.
But then, real quickly, to touch back on that though, but you also got to look at. I mean, it depends on who you think did it, but whoever killed Stephen Orff.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
So Stephen Orff's kill was good, but honestly, that was just one cut. It was literally just a cut straight across the gut, and things fell out.
Right.
Casey Becker, on the other hand,
That's true.
I wholeheartedly believe that was Stu. Because
I agree with that.
Because they dated.
Right.
And then I think that was Stu. So
I think Stu was all of it, honestly, because Billy, I think, was on the phone. And Billy is cadence while he's talking. He's never out of breath. He's not grunting in between sentences. And so I thoroughly believe Billy, being the one that's controlling the situation, the narrative of the story as far as trying to get to see Sydney. I think Billy's on that phone call the whole time while Stu is running out there doing the killing. That's how I've always felt. I feel like Billy was there. Like they're both there. But I think Billy's the one on the phone.
I agree. Because you need that. And I mean, it's obviously movies, so they could say, oh, no, it was both of them, or it was. But I tend to agree that Stu did the majority of the grunt work.
Yeah.
And Dino, yes, Billy got every single vote. And I think this is going to be a very quick round right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't think any explanation needs to be made at this point.
No.
Mickey. For me, it's Mickey.
It's Mickey for me.
Jason had one kill in the movie. He wasn't that impressive with the one kill. And Mickey for me.
Yeah.
I
agree, Mickey.
So okay, next. So we already got 3 Mickeys. I'm gonna throw the poll up just so everyone can have their voices heard. But I'm pretty sure I know how this one's gonna go. You all could surprise me though. You never know.
This is another thing too. I mean, we're led to believe Jason was just starting off. Again, Mickey was already active, so.
Well, yeah, because Mickey. I mean, Jason's even saying how I wanted to know what it felt like.
Right.
That was his first kill. His practice. Yeah, that's.
And I will say this though, for a first kill, that wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
He did some damage, but
he did. Definitely did.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna call this poll early because I think this is an easy round. We got 12 votes. Yeah, we got 12 votes, 83% for Mickey. So,
Yeah.
actually, I just ended it, and right as I did, another vote for Jason came in. So,
Okay.
so that's 3 votes for Jason, 10 for Mickey. We'll throw that in there. So 13 for Mickey altogether. I like keeping track of the scores. I don't have to put them in, but I like keeping track of them. All right,
Yeah.
so Mickey's moving on. Ooh, okay, Steven,
Oh.
this is an interesting one here, man. We got Stu Macher.
Mhm.
We got one of the OGs. We got look at it. Yeah, that
Mhm.
versus
Mhm.
that. Oh,
Yep.
bro, that's a this is battle of the peak crazy.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. I whoever wants to go first, man. This is a tough one because both of these ghost faces are loved. They both brought something unforgettable to the table,
Mhm.
Very true.
and it's hard to see one go. But I'm just gonna throw it out there before we move on. Last thing I'll say before I put the poll up: 6'4"
I know.
versus 5'2".
5'2". I know.
Even giving her the extra 9-10 inches of that blade, she can't get anywhere near him without him being
Right.
able to stab her. So that's the last thing to say. I'm throwing the poll up now, y'all. I think I know how this one's gonna go, but whoever wants to go first. This is not an easy one.
I'll kick it off. It's going to be Stu. The sheer physicality. I mean, in terms of crazy and some unpredictability, I think they're almost dead even. I would still slightly give the edge to Stu because, Jill did have, she had a motive. She wanted to be Sydney, just in a different type of light.
Right. That's true.
And I agree, with Eric, like it's going to be difficult for her to touch him. Like it's a very distinctive physical advantage. So I'd have to go with Stu in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Same here. I love Jill. She's my third favorite of Ghostface. But yeah, Stu Macher, he's got all he checks the boxes for advantages, size. The motive again goes back to what Marcus said and we talked about earlier. Jill's got a very specific motive. Stu kills because he likes it. I'm telling you that to me makes a difference. So I think Stu would absolutely win this battle. I wouldn't be surprised if Jill got a stab in here or there, but I think Stu takes her and comes out ahead. Yeah.
Okay,
Stu.
so I'm also going to say Stu, and this is a reason here. And I know some people will be talking about this, and it's something we give credit for to Jill all the way is her harming herself at the end to stage it.
Right.
That takes some grit. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, she never had to fight through that. Like she got those injuries, but she got them in a controlled way. Stu was coughing up blood. Stu had been stabbed 3-4 times or whatever.
4 times.
And he still was going after Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was still fighting.
True.
So, and I just I cannot get over the size difference, y'all. Like Stu Macher's reach, he's 6'4".
Think about that now.
Yeah.
So his roughly.
Yeah.
There's no way she could get close enough to him to stab him without him getting her first.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Now she could probably like openly take a stab in order to get close. She could do that. But Stu
probably
at the
would.
time, we can't give her the speed in this scenario. because Stu
Right.
was an 18-year-old, like prime of his life teen.
Mhm.
Like he is arguably peak physical condition at that point. So you can't. Her speed is gone. Crazy. She's matched. I think Stu is matched. Like Stu matches her crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she didn't want to do this except to be famous. Stu wanted to do this so that he could kill people. Like
Exactly.
for me, it's got to be Stu Macher for those reasons. However, I don't think Jill's going down without a fight. Like,
Unless he
Oh
fight.
yeah. Yep.
so panel, I think we're all three unanimous that it's going to be Stu Macher. We're gonna call the poll there. Oh my god. We're gonna end the poll. I'm gonna throw some comments up first. Jamie's. Oh, here. Why can't? Oh, I'm not on StreamYard. That's why I was like, Jamie, come at me. I'll show you what 5. I'm not doubting 5 foot can do something. I'm not. I'm just saying you going. If we both got knives, Jamie, you're not getting close to me without a cut coming your way. It's just what it is. I'm not underestimating. I said it. She's gonna get hers in. He ain't walking out of there. He's limping out of there.
Mhm.
But in my opinion, he's coming. Mayhan saying, "Wait till they see the poll." I saw it, and I don't think it's gonna be appreciated. But Jill wins 66% to 33% with 15
Dang.
votes.
Goodness gracious.
So that means 10 votes for Jill, 5 votes for Stu from the poll.
Wow.
So that takes it 8 to 10. So Jill Roberts.
That's the upset right there, Eric.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
huge.
the upset. Jill Roberts moves into the top spot or into the final.
Wow.
And I don't agree, but what can we do? The people
Right.
have spoken, and that's what this is
Yeah,
about.
that's very
You get your
true.
voice out there, and that's what I said was.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Eric froze for a second.
If you can hear us, Eric, you're frozen. FYI. That was a shocker to me, man.
Yeah, I'm shocked about that too. Like I'm shell shocked.
That's well, and the thing is, if you're going to use that logic, that we'll see what the polls say here in a minute. But basically, what you'd be saying is no one could beat Jill. I mean, if you're saying that Stu Macher couldn't defeat Jill, well, I don't see how you could say Roman could or Billy could or Mickey could either. Because Eric will be back, I'm sure. We'll hang tight. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, dude? It's like how could you justify your Billy over Stu defeating her? I mean, that's just a question. I don't know how I couldn't do it. So I don't know how it's those who voted. I wonder what they're going to validate that, or maybe they just vote for Jill all the way. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. Like, yeah, because again, it's just like I said, the unpredictability. I just feel like everything favors Stu. The physicality, the psychology. Even though they match crazy, even though they're both crazy in their own way, and stuff. It's just, man, like I just can't see Jill actually winning that one-on-one matchup. Like I personally can't. You know what I mean? But hey, everybody has their thoughts and opinions.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. And I tell you this much. Jill would have to be on some literal like 2 times the Scream 4 beast mode to take out Stu.
That's how I look at it too. I think, Eric, we were just talking about. I posed the question: if you're going to vote Stu would not defeat Jill, then I don't see how you could vote that Billy or Mickey or Roman could beat her either then, because he had the size advantage. Yeah, maybe they're matched to crazy, but look at the motives. Stu is a thrill killer. He's gonna look at her as meat, like a predator in the jungle.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like, how could I don't know how. I mean, and I think it's more than just. It's not about smarts when we're talking about two people in a knife with a room. Let me rephrase that. Two people in a room with a knife. I don't know, man. You're talking about four walls. What really is going to distinguish one? I mean, I don't know, man. It's just interesting thought. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but
I don't. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. I'm gonna call it out. The chat was wrong. I don't want anyone to take offense of me criticizing like her size.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know it's not about size. There are small people who can do damage.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
I love Jill.
She can have all the tactics in the world. Mike Tyson said it best. Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face.
That's right.
And here's the thing.
True.
Here's the thing. She had to go through, as far as I know, and we can analyze the movie further. She didn't take any damage from someone else and then keep fighting. So we have no one in the chat can provide any instance of her getting hurt and continuing. Because she made Charlie do all the dirty work.
Charlie did it all,
and
except for the arm cut. That was planned. That didn't count. Yeah. Even then, she laid on the ground.
And people are talking about her tactics and everything. Good. That's really smart that she had Charlie do the dirty work. That's not what this is about. This is about these two people go into a room with a knife. Each of them have a knife. Who's walking out of there? And I would guarantee you, I would bet a lot of money it's not Jill Roberts. It just won't be.
Just based on what we've seen, I mean, demonstrated in the movies. Yeah. I mean,
and that's the thing. We can only base on what we see in the movies and what we know about their characters. And what we know about them is most. What we know about him is, Matthew Lillard is 6'4". He was an 18-year-old, like I said, prime physical being at that time, like as best as he's gonna be, She was as well, 18. She was as far as I know, same age, but she didn't do what he did. Show me a kill that she did that compares to Casey Becker. So,
yeah, I mean, she shot Trevor. That was, he was tied up. She stabbed Charlie. She stabbed
Sydney. And then that's it.
That was it.
She didn't do any sort of damage. So as far as the voting goes, I'm gonna go with what the chat says. However, I think everyone knows how that would actually end.
I think Stu got robbed.
I'm 100% certain that it went that way because they know we're so big on Stu.
That's probably true. Probably messing with us a little bit, playing with us.
Oh yeah,
100%. And as soon as I saw the comment, wait till they see the poll. I'm like, they voted that way to do that. And okay, it's all fun and games. This is all fun and games anyway.
Oh, of course.
So let me go ahead and pull this back up really quick. GHOSTFACE Showdown bracket. Share. Okay, so we were on. You know what? Before we move on to that, I'm gonna go ahead and we got someone in here knocking at the door. We got my buddy Destin from Destination Station.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey man, good.
You know what? We were better before this last round.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say you were better before I came in here. Okay.
No. Okay, here. I'm going to show you this. Look at this round. Stu Macher versus Jill Roberts.
Oh, I'm late.
Can you believe that people voted for Jill Roberts?
Yeah,
I mean, okay. Let me.
I know Craven did.
No,
Freeman.
No.
versus Stu Macher.
No.
No, not versus.
Well,
Stu.
not versus Stu. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
So this is the criteria here, man. We're essentially what we're going with is if these two ghost faces were to be locked in a room, each of them had, the classic buck 120, only one could walk out. Who's walking out?
And we're down to Jill and Stu?
No, Jill. That was the semifinal.
Okay, all right.
Jill won. Like we're already pretty deep into it. But
okay.
Jill won that one. So Jill is in the finals. So the now we're voting on Billy Loomis versus Mickey Altieri. That's the semifinal round we got going right now. So Destin, since while you're here, let's go ahead and get your thoughts on it on the previous one as well. I want to hear yours, Stu versus Jill. Who do you think's walking out of that room?
Absolutely Stu.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Stu. Yeah.
So we're gonna give Stu. We're gonna give him that point.
That's right.
So now it's 9-10. She still wins, but okay. So going back to this. So now, Destin, you can also start this one. Billy versus Mickey. Who do you think's walking out of that room, man?
Man, they're both great. They're both so good. I got to go with Billy though. I have to. I mean, Mickey's crazy, but Billy's dark. I just feel like Billy would almost like know Mickey's next move, and Billy would take the upper hand.
I can get on board with that. I could think that. Okay. What do you got, Marcus? We'll move up from there.
Man, that is a tough one. It's a tough one because they're both like really psychotic. Billy does have the edge, like Destin said, in darkness. But the active serial killer, that's where it stumps me because it's like, was Mickey a serial killer before Billy was? Man, that's so tough.
Well,
but we did see Billy, much like Stu, take punishment and fight through that. I mean, Mickey did to a degree, but he wasn't like stabbed up or nothing like Billy, was, because of Stu. So, man, I'm going to have to lean towards Billy because I just feel like because we've seen him battle adversity and still keep going. I mean, it took a bullet to the head to stop him, so I'd have to lean towards Billy.
Okay, we got two for Billy. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, this is this would be a fun to watch as a spectator because I think these two would go at it for several rounds.
This might be the best matchup.
I think it might be, man, because it's very evenly matched. Unlike Wayne versus Richie, which would have been a snooze fest to watch probably after the first round. They were evenly matched. Not every evenly matched is even. And this is the perfect example. Billy, though, versus Mickey. Oh, man. This is going to be 12 rounds. But who walks out of that room at the end of the day and the door opens? I cannot bet. You guys ever heard of Skip Bayless?
Yes, of course.
Skip Bayless? Okay, ESPN and
yeah.
Whatever. He has a saying when Tom Brady played the football, he says, there's one man in sports I don't bet against. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Yep.
And since Stu has been eliminated, I have to say this. The other person I never bet against in serial killers is Billy Loomis. So Billy Loomis gets the vote. He will come out.
You know what? You hit all the great points there. And there is something that we haven't talked about, but Sarah makes this perfect point. Mickey got riddled with bullets and still got up. He did. He got shot. Bro, he got shot like 8, 9 times and still popped up for one last scare.
He did.
That is true.
He did.
So like he's
tough.
The thing I think he did better than Billy is his mental games with Sydney. Oh, he was going to war with her mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
did I not put a poll up for this one? I'm sorry. I did put a poll up for it.
But Mickey didn't get up after he got riddled with bullets. That was what took him. That's what took him down.
Well, he
got up for one last. No, that's right. Yeah,
No.
that's
they
right.
shot him with both guns after he's jumped back up.
Yeah. So
it was like
Loomis,
two birds, one stone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Miss Loomis shot him. Then he went down, and then you think like, oh, Miss Loomis is gonna be the one last scare, and all of a sudden he pops up and
That's it. That's right.
Okay,
So take that, Mickey.
So my vote is gonna be for Billy Loomis as well. Like he just.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go back. I thought you were gonna go Mickey.
No. I'm not going Mickey. The thing, there's some downsides to Mickey. I'm not gonna say he's the best out there. He's my third favorite, but he's right behind Billy Loomis.
Exactly.
So I'm just so I think it's obviously a clean sweep on the panel here, but we're gonna go ahead and end the poll as well. We got 15 votes and 80% for Billy.
There you go.
I'm not surprised by that. But Mickey got his votes and he deserves them.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's 12 votes for Billy, and then 12 for Billy, 3 for Mickey. Let's throw those on there, so that takes that up to 16. I think that's the biggest margin.
Mickey always came off across like he almost was uncontrollable. Like he would act on emotion easier. Billy had his emotions under control, and it would seem like he would just like know when to strike. Mickey would just go crazy and just put it all out there. So that's why I think Billy would come out on top.
Yeah,
that would be a cool showdown, though.
It would be one of the ones I would enjoy the most.
Same.
Mickey is a sick F who wants to get caught. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Bro. Man, I cannot get over, and I've already said it once this stream, but one of my favorite lines in the entire franchise. He's exactly the kind of guy I'd like to take home to mom. If you had a mom.
Yeah,
had a mom.
And then
so messed up.
That writing was really good right there. Yeah.
That was some peak far and away above 5 and 6. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh gosh, dude. Yeah.
Of what? What'd you say?
Far and above 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and remove these comments.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please do.
So let's we're not gonna get political in the chat.
It's just a troll.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take that away. The only democracy we got going right now is who is gonna win between Billy hold on, let me move this. Oh yeah, I already did have it up. Between Jill Roberts and Billy Loomis.
Oh man.
Y'all. I mean, this is it doesn't matter at this point. Like,
I mean, let me tell you what. And I love Jill Roberts, guys. She's my third favorite Ghostface. Yeah, I always love her. You guys know I love Jill, but I'd be darned if she's going to take down Stu Macher and Billy Loomis. That is, you know what? The only thing that happens in is Fantasyland.
Hell, and she barely took down Charlie Walker.
I mean, seriously, come on.
He's still alive.
Marcus,
yeah, but
no offense, Marcus.
Consider the source, man. Like Charlie.
Come on,
Dude.
Destin.
No.
I know.
Oh, You had to do it, Eric. You had to say Charlie.
Hey, it's all
No.
good. No, I get it.
yeah.
It's cool. I
She
understand.
barely took down Charlie Walker.
Macaulay
defeated
Culkin
by
was a better
Gale.
killer in The Good Son.
Oh, dang. He hooked my boy.
I'm going to go with you there, buddy.
Macaulay Culkin was a better killer in Home Alone.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't disagree with that one.
I have no words.
Okay,
Home Alone's great.
So we got this is the Fantasyland finale we got going right now. Billy or Jill?
Oh, for me, it's Billy Loomis all the way.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Do we need more? Do we need more like explanation than just saying Billy? Like,
I don't think so.
It just makes sense.
Maybe Jill after Billy was shot in the head. It depends on what state Billy is in.
Maybe she could take care of his one last scare, but that's pushing it.
Maybe while he's like half faded in, the tenant in the box in Scream 6, when he's half faded and you could barely see him.
What's in the box? What's in the box? John Doe's got the upper hand. Sorry, I'll get out.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I mean, 7 was so good.
Just so y'all know, I did say Jilly on purpose.
Jilly.
It's Billy or Jilly. I did do that on purpose. So you cast your votes. Okay, so I think on the panel we're unanimous that it's 4 for Billy.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see what kind of clown voting we got going on in the chat.
Remember Halloween 5 with the clown cops?
Oh, dude, I hate that so
Yep.
much. Nothing below, nothing above.
It's like, why?
Exactly why? Like that kills the whole entire vibe.
Yes,
of the movie right
it
there.
did. Why would you put those clown noises? You didn't have to do that.
If someone could just go in and like rescore that and like put something else there, like it would make it like
drastically affect the movie
2-3 times up. Like,
Agreed.
To me, I always took that as a sign of that's how that director felt about doing a Halloween movie.
And maybe so, because he never watched Halloween before he directed.
Right, exactly. Like I don't
understand
that mask looked like Mark Zuckerberg.
That mask looked like hot garbage.
Dude, it was like an alien, stretched out alien face or something.
And they even showed on the poster the regular mask.
Right.
So they tried
that was the thing that I wish that I know we're kind of like slowly going away from it, but like the silly goofy cops like Barney Fife and stuff like that, like I don't want that. Like, let's have some realistic cops in our movies.
You die.
You can't, because then the killers wouldn't go anywhere. You can't have a realistic, common sense adversary for the villain in movies, because then the villain wouldn't succeed in any capacity. Like if you went to an actual small town, like in Halloween Kills, and there was a killer running around and there was an angry mob going after him, that killer isn't going anywhere. That mob is going to tear that person limb from limb. Like they're not going to bring hockey sticks and irons, and they're certainly not going to miss 6 shots. You're not walking away. So that's why. All right, I think we call the voting here. It's been 3 minutes and we got this normal amount of votes going on already. So
here we go.
It's not surprising. This went the way it should have gone. It's 66% for Billy, 33% for Jilly. So that's 10 votes Billy, 5 votes Jilly. So let's go ahead and throw Billy's additional 10 votes in there, taking him up to a 14 and a 5 for Jill Roberts, making the winner.
Wow.
The Supreme Ghostface.
Wow.
The
All
winner of the War for Woodsboro, Billy Loomis.
Are we over?
All right.
I just
That's
got
it.
here.
Yo,
Dude, you
bro,
missed all the earlier
Yeah,
rounds, bro.
Right.
We got to do it over, man. Y'all don't have my input on any of this.
We could, if y'all want to, we can do another quick round. I got an idea. We can rank kills from the franchise. I can throw some kills together. We can do it. So like Casey Becker versus Olivia, or CC.
Oh.
That's a tough one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we could save that for another stream. I see.
Or why don't we do like Casey Becker versus Greg in the icebox? That's an easy one to call.
And that's the thing. We'd put the kills in and it'd randomize it. So
he just randomizes them. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So here's the thing. The only justification I saw for Jill beating Stu is her tactics, which wouldn't come into account in a square room with no one to hide, no one to control. So say if Jill had fought Billy before, like in an earlier round, Jill wouldn't have moved on, Billy would, and Stu would have moved on. So that's the beauty of this, I think.
Yeah.
Is that it's all in the way, it's all in the random way it falls. Like if we'd have had Amber versus Ethan, I'd have probably given that to Amber and she would have moved on. But she got taken out by Jill round 1.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
if you're wondering here, I'll move this over so you can see this is the entire one. So that's how it played out. Yeah, this is fun. I've wanted to do this for a while to see.
This was fun.
I have a question. Sorry, I didn't go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, man.
Who's everybody's? I'm just curious, and even in the chat, who's everybody's worst Ghostface? We always talk about our best. Who's your least favorite?
Least favorite Ghostface?
Yeah,
I think it's an easy choice if we include Jason Carvey.
I was wondering.
No, we're not.
So
we're not including.
I'm going to take only like primary ghost faces. So like ones that are active during the movies. If you take him away, I think it does become a little harder.
Ones that got revealed in the climax.
For me, easy. Wayne Bailey. Wayne Bailey is my least favorite. I think, man. Because we did a ranking on my channel. Steven. I remember, I think you were there too, Mark. We did a ranking as to what, and I think. Hold on, I think I still have.
I'm pretty sure I went with Amber as my least favorite. I just couldn't get down with her. She did most of the stuff, but
it was the exact same. Here's our list.
Wow.
These were our rankings from.
Here we go.
So for me, my lowest was Richie. For Destin, your lowest was Charlie. Marcus, yours was Quinn. And
sorry,
Steven, yours was Jason. But since we're taking Jason out to account, I'll say Ethan.
Ethan, and then Amber, and then Bailey. Yeah.
I have like two in my mind that I'm kind of like tossing up in the air of who's my worst. And yes, Charlie is one, and Ethan is the other.
See, and I do want to clarify real quick. Like when I say like in that ranking, like worst Ghostface, like to me, it's not like in terms of like likability. It's just more in terms of like what we got out of that Ghostface. That's the only reason why Quinn is even behind Amber. Because if Quinn would have got more screen time and we would have got kills off of Quinn, wipes the floor with Amber, in my opinion.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
I like Quinn. I think Quinn was great.
Yeah, by the way, it's a terrible writing choice to make her the one that died.
By the way, Philip, just
right. She should have been the one that was the last Ghostface to die.
Yep, agreed. What'd you say, Eric?
I was just saying good night to Philip. He's got to jump out of here.
Oh, hey, Philip. Good night, man.
So
yeah, have a nice night, Phil.
Have a good one. So in the chat, what's y'all's least favorite Ghostface as well? I was really surprised, Steven, that yours isn't Amber.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you pulled that list up, I'm like, if we take Jason off the list, it was Ethan, Amber, Bailey. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Amber. I can't stand the character. I don't like any part of her. You guys know why. I've talked about it for 2 years now. Yeah, I'm a little surprised too that I went there. I mean, she's we were counting Jason, but she was with him off the plate. She was my second least favorite. Oh yeah, there it is. Ethan,
so
Amber,
Bailey, Quinn for you. So
wow. See, before 6, it was Amber hands down, and that's how much I disliked Ethan. I think he's this wimpy, little whiny character. I can't stand him. I still don't. I mean, I'm serious. I don't like the character Ethan, and at all. I do not.
I think he's the most least developed too.
Yeah.
Even though he was on, even though he's like on screen, he doesn't say much.
He just he's not.
And here's
just
something
kind of there.
Yeah.
He has no personality. And then when he does have personality in the climax, it's like, you're annoying. You're not even.
You're annoying. Yes.
So this
you're not even menacing.
This is something I'm noticing here, and I want to point it out to y'all and see what y'all think about this. If you look at everyone's list, bottom tier is the 2 most recent movies.
They sure are.
Is that like all there? And this is a hope for me for Scream 7. Get back to a point where you've got a reveal that can put a ghost or a ghost face that can climb up that list, that can actually rank amongst the OGs, the first 4.
Yeah.
Because it really pains me to see the fact that all these new killers are so either underdeveloped or annoying or
animated
copycats, because that's the thing. They're kind of carbon copies of 1 and 2, and we don't need that. We already got 1 and 2, and you're never gonna beat them.
No.
So I was noticing that if you look at all of our lists, the bottom half includes all the killers from the most recent movies. And it's unfortunate because it had the possibility to be so much better than that.
You know what I think the thing is too, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but a big thing why I feel like a lot of people do rank the newer killers at the bottom is when you really look at it, they don't know how to finish the job. Like, at least in the earlier films with our earlier killers, they knew how to finish the job with certain main characters.
Yeah.
These newer killers, it's like they're unseasoned. And I get it, it's part of the writing process and stuff, but and that's where that has to get patched up. You have to create killers that not only are believable as killers, but have them to finish the job.
And give us some killers that actually know what their damn names are.
Right. Because I feel like this, the only one so far in the newer ones, obviously, that had the job finished, I hate to bring it up, but was Dewey. But think about it in this regard. We don't even believe that the killers in that movie are the ones who killed him.
Oh, I still think that's Stu Macher.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact is, these newer killers, we pick out things that we see that's like, nope, it's not them that did that. So then when you boil it down and then when you see their body of work, it's like, man, they're really not good at killing anybody.
Yeah. Good night, Russ.
Not believable.
And that's it's not. And
it doesn't match the same tone that they built up to.
Right.
And that's the thing. And this was something, the last couple videos that I made on my channel was, I started thinking, I was like, would you rather have a good Scream movie and a terrible climax, or would you like to have a mediocre bad Scream movie and an awesome climax? As far as the experience.
I don't see how you could do that though. I don't see how you could have a bad movie with great climax.
Well, I'm saying, like, if it was just kind of like mediocre and they played it safe and they just kind of went, you know, not as serious with it, but that climax was like, oh my God, you know.
For me, I would take that option because if the movie's great, I know of course everyone else has their opinion too, but if the movie's great and it falls flat at the end, everything before that has now been tainted in my opinion. However, if my expectations are lowered by the beginning of the movie and then you end on just a high, I think you've done a good job. Like, I would rather you start slow and then jump than fall off. That's just me. What are y'all guys' opinions?
So you're asking,
I agree with that.
You're asking, rephrase the question again. Make sure I'm tracking.
I was thinking like after revisiting these last couple movies, would you rather, because like sometimes the journey of the movie is like, oh, it's so great that they're hitting everything, they're hitting the mark, but then the climax, it just kind of like falls off. It falls flat. It doesn't pay off. Would you rather that happen, or would you rather have a movie that's kind of like slow or even not taking itself serious and it's not that great of a movie and you're like, this is kind of not my type of Scream, but that ending just
killed it.
Hits. Because it's like, are you here for the majority of the ride?
Right.
Or are you here and then it's just like, oh, it's got that wow moment.
Well, here's my thought, and this is before I even answer that directly, is which has the most rewatchability factor? If I've got a movie that story is garbage and I just don't like the movie, but I love the last 20 minutes, how much am I going to ever watch that movie again? I mean, I might, just to get to that last 20 minutes. So I hear what Eric's saying, and it makes sense. Like, you want to go up, and that's ideal. But if I'm going to have to sit down for 2 hours and watch something, I would rather enjoy that story that's well written, and the conclusion is just a little anticlimactic. Let's say, like, oh, I mean, it could have been better. Could have been a better ending, but what a great story. I lean towards that versus what a horrible story. An hour and a half of just trying to get through it, but the ending's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's tough to say without actually seeing the movie, right? But
yeah,
my gut says I would rather have a majority of enjoyable experience, and then just complain about the ending being not as good as it could have been.
And my reason bringing up this is, think of M. Night Shyamalan movies. Sometimes they're not the greatest.
True.
But those endings are so like, oh, it's one of the most shocking endings ever. But how often, I started asking myself, how often would I really go back and sit from the beginning to the end?
That's my point too. I mean, exactly.
Well, is rewatchability the biggest reference for what's a good movie, though?
I think it's
that's a big part. Yeah,
and that's fine and it could be for people. For me, that's not the biggest indicator of if it's a good movie for me, because like there are movies that are absolute classics, literal Oscar winners. I just don't want to rewatch them that often. Like, that's
great. What I'm saying. They're like one-time watches, or maybe twice, but they're not something you're going to throw in on a weekend.
But what I'm saying though is that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's honestly a really good movie. But so I'm just saying that, like, rewatchability for me isn't the biggest indicator of whether or not the movie's good. Like, I probably rewatch Scream 3 more than I rewatch Scream 1. I do. I think Scream 3
is a fun ride. That's a roller coaster.
Exactly. But is it a better movie than Scream 1?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying rewatchability for me, because that seems to be the general consensus, is that the rewatchability would be higher on a movie that has a great beginning, bad ending.
But if we're versing 1 and 3, I'm rewatching more 1 than 3.
And that's
okay.
I
still find like 1 as a flawless movie almost,
and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think 1 is a flawless movie. I'm just saying there's some things for like 6 for me. I'm gonna be honest. 6 started amazing. I think Scream 6 had the opening that we didn't expect. Like, oh, we're following a killer now. Like, that was awesome. That was great. And then for me, it just goes downhill. I'm not rewatching that movie often, because every time I do, I'm finding more and more things that I don't like about it. However, if it had started off plain Jane, we get 1 opening kill or 2 opening kills rather, we're going over, but I don't guess the ending. Like I don't guess who the killer is.
I don't think there was enough guesses as far as like characters in Scream.
I agree with that.
And that's fine. I'm just saying, in terms of a Scream movie, like if we got a movie where it feels dull, the story is, let's say, like 6, a complete copy of a previous Scream movie, but I don't guess who the killers are, I'll take that 100% over a movie that has a brand new story, but I can automatically tell the killers from the opening of the movie. I'll take that 100%. I'll take the copy of 3 with a surprising, shocking final twist over a whole new story that is just something you can guess. That's me though.
I think 6 has some rewatchability. I think it
does. I agree.
I think it's fun. I think it's an easy watch. It's one of those movies that's like, it's never boring. It's got the shotgun scene, even though we've seen it so many times in trailers and everything. That's a one of a kind with the Scream franchise. The only thing that I would say is I wanted to see more college setting. It didn't feel like they were in college to me. And it's like they only had the approval to film right outside of a college. Because I know, like, me working in a college, you have to like get approval to film on these grounds and all that kind of stuff. So they tried to wedge that in, but I would have loved to had like a film class like we did in Scream 2, something like that. Just a classroom setting talking about movies. But I think Scream 6 is actually the journey from until that climax. I think Scream 6 is more fun to watch 90% of it than Scream 5. I
agree with that as well, man. We're on the same page. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with that too. I think the story, the character development's better for our core 4.
Yep.
But it's, man, like I said,
Sam is awesome.
She is. 6 for me. I watch it. I don't watch it as a Scream movie. I watch it as a stab movie, because then all the glaring mistakes don't hurt as much. And I was thinking about this. I wanted to bring this up to y'all.
Unless they pay off in the next one, unless they have somewhere where they're going.
They won't. They can't.
If they have no vision, then
I'm going to be honest. I hope my biggest hope, and I'd love to know what y'all's biggest hope for 7 is too. My biggest hope for 7 is that we do not continue with the Sam Carpenter storyline or any of the core 4. Because if we do that, new writers, new director, Christopher Landon, will have to work around the mess that James and Guy created. My biggest hope is that they start somewhere fresh, including Sidney Prescott, because then they can do it properly. But I wanted to bring this up because we all know about, I already brought up the name thing issue in Scream 6. I thought of something. I thought more about this, and there's even more that doesn't make sense. So obviously the big thing is Bailey gets into the police department, into the New York Police Department, NYPD, but he's Richie's father, and no one knows that, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so here's the problem. Someone is like, "Oh, he faked his identity to get in." That could be it. Like,
No.
his name's not actually Bailey. Okay,
I
so
think
see,
Richie took his mom's last name. Maybe there was a divorce there or something.
here's the problem with that. I started thinking about this more on the other end. It's not just the NYPD that could have possibly made a mistake. It would have to be the Woodsboro Police Department, because everyone's overlooking the fact that there would have been an investigation into Richie Kirsch after his murder spree. So they would have found out if his name wasn't Richie Kirsch. They would have gone to his family, his next of kin. Like, they're establishing that by that, his name really is Richie Kirsch. So
What?
how does that work? If y'all got anything, please.
What
please
what if Detective Bailey was not as active in Richie's life, and maybe Richie's mom had a different husband, boyfriend, whatever, that was more predominant in his life, states away, and maybe at a young age he just adopted his mom's name instead of his. Bailey, maybe that's part of Bailey's motive, is that he was kept away for so long, but he loved his son.
We know that's not true because Bailey and Richie were actively collecting this stuff to make the shrine.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when Richie got older, he got in contact with his real father.
What do you mean? Like it?
Like, I mean, like, because at a young age, like, Richie can't do anything as a child, but whenever you become a 18 or whatever, an adult, maybe he seeked out his father, and maybe that's whenever him and his father grew this bond to collect these things, and he was, I don't know, like,
Well, but remember, Ethan and Quinn were very attached to Richie.
Yeah.
They were very much like, yes, they're my brother. And so it gave the impression to me anyway that they were all, a tight-knit family. They were all
one big happy family.
Yeah.
What if they were?
And another thing is, even though we didn't get to see it, remember that scrapped scene, that deleted scene they talked about, to where basically Bailey and Ethan killed the mom.
That's right.
So
yeah, but it's not canon at this point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but what I'm saying though is like that. I mean, like in terms of like the whole mom thing or whatever, like maybe Bailey and the mom had gotten a divorce. If it was canon, then that can't be used, because then they would have put that scene in 6 where she gets killed, and she would obviously still have been around. She would have still been with Bailey and stuff. So,
well, and from what I understand, the whole thing with them killing the mom is because the mom didn't want to go along with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that shows that they're a family. Like,
I think so too. I mean, yeah, it points to the writer's mentality.
And even so, and Destin, I love that we're trying to figure this out and justify it, because even the writers themselves and the directors said that they don't know what the name is.
Yeah. And we're putting honestly, dude, we're putting a lot more thought into this than the people that were hired to write the movie.
Which is,
think about that.
Because where I was going was that I was thinking like maybe Bailey and Ethan are half siblings, not biological.
I don't know, man. And that's a thought that someone's brought up. But here's the thing. And I noticed someone said this in this comment in the chat. The Woodsboro small town police probably has limited resource and manpower and probably just close the case right away. That's
not this day and age.
No, not this day and age. And also, don't forget the FBI is on this because Kirby Reed at this point is an FBI agent working these cases. And that's another problem. or
was she really fired? We don't know. They never validated her.
I think we do. She rolled up with official police files.
I think
on her way out.
I think the big question with that, and it's interesting you guys brought that up because I'm working on a video about it. But one of the things, and we might not get it answered in 7, but one of the things I personally had a question about from 6 is Kirby explains that she was monitoring Jason and Greg's online activity,
right,
and that she specializes in Ghostface attacks. And that, they're obviously from Atlanta where she was working. Well, were there attacks in Atlanta?
I'm not, and they could go there. I hope they do.
That's the thing that really was the kicker with me with that whole storyline and that whole little connection with Kirby and Jason and Greg. Because it's like, okay, you're saying she specializes in Ghostface attacks. For some reason, she is investigating these two. But you also implied in the beginning of the film that Jason killing Laura was his first time. So it's like you're kind of implying two things to me here when it comes to Jason and Greg, because if Kirby is investigating them because of a Ghostface attack or whatever, well, then that had to mean that wasn't Jason's first time, unless they just attacked somebody and ran
or
and
the other guy.
No,
the other guy that was cut up.
My assumption is when she said they're monitoring their online activity, my assumption is the FBI is monitoring the Reddit thread because that's how Jason knows Amber and Richie. So and this happens in real life. I know. I worked at some of the agencies that monitor these things. They will watch online threads where these, extreme people hang out, and they determine how likely, based off factors, how likely a person is to actually do something. So my guess, what I assumed, she's monitoring that thread. And this is a technicality, but I'm just going to throw it out there. She didn't say she specializes in Ghostface attacks. She says, I take a special interest.
Yeah, she takes a special interest. Yeah.
Yeah. But so my assumption was she's watching that thread. Jason and Greg seemed like they were more likely to do it. Plus the fact that they just happened to move and follow the survivors of the last movie. I think that's why she picked them. I don't think there was an attack already. I'm going based on dialogue on that. But once again,
I think it points to the Ghostface cult. I always go back to beat that drum. I think it points to the cult, which is based from the Reddit thread. Right. And there are members of this cult in all across the country, all different states. And when she said I take a special interest in Ghostface cases, it was a second confirmation I thought that they gave us that the cult is real. First being Jason and Greg's existence to finish Richie's movie. And then we get her taking an interest in Ghostface cases. And she's FBI. So that's across states, not just one state. So I think there's two points we can say that's not overreaching, that these point to the cult of Ghostface being real from the Reddit thread.
And maybe it's not what we're expecting in the formal like version of a cult, but it's maybe not not formal, like a organized. Maybe it's not an organized cult, but there are people all over the country who do this. And I think you're absolutely right, Stephen. Having a federal investigator working on this proves that it's not just because as of right now we've had attacks in 3 states, right? No, two states. Only
two states. Two states.
California and New York was the first time they'd left anything had happened outside of California.
That's right.
So the only reason you would bring in federal outside of that, because she got there right as the first attack happened that we see outside of California. The only reason they'd be watching it is if there were other attacks outside of the state of California, because California would have, they have the CBI, they have the California Bureau of Investigations. That's overall of the entire state. The only reason you bring in federals if you need if something happens that's across multiple states, or if you need assistance. But so
that's right.
I think the likelihood, I hope that there's the cult, because that would be a good explanation of some things.
Right.
There's still so many things in 6 that just don't make sense to me, and there's no one that it's just a lack of attention to detail. Like how did no one know Bailey was Richie's father? Not a single person knew that. There was an investigation into Richie's murders. Sam had been dating Richie for how long? Like
6 months.
6 months.
I think Kirby was on Bailey's case, and Bailey was on Kirby's case, and I think that it was Ghostface investigating Ghostface. Like they were both on each other. Like I've said it before, but like I think that moment when Bailey was like, "Hey, she was released because of being mentally unstable," maybe he wasn't just trying to lie to Sam, but maybe he was actually telling the truth in that moment. And there's that whole standoff between Bailey, Sam, and Kirby. I still think to this day that Kirby could possibly be a Ghostface.
So when he's standing there looking at Kirby and saying, "Did you kill my daughter?"
Yeah,
bro, that's a bald-faced lie. His daughter's not dead. Like, he's lying 100%.
Well, he's saying it to Sam to confuse Sam at that moment, but I'm talking about when he calls Sam on the phone before he gets to the scene. He's saying that Kirby is not who she says she is. She was released because of
mental instability.
Mental instability, and maybe he was being truthful in that. Maybe
right.
That's what I'm saying there. It's like maybe that's where the twist is, because my point being is that Kirby was knocked out. Why would one of those Ghostface, Ethan, Quinn, and Bailey, only knock Kirby out? And she had that mark. I always thought for a while now, and that she was one of the Ghostface running around, and that mark came from Chad hitting her with the camera. Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to think about. Where did the mark come from? Yeah.
Man, there's even things that I saw in Scream 5 after recently watching it that I'm just like, okay,
So just so I'm clear, Destin, you're supposing there was 3 ghost faces running around.
4.
No, in the finale.
Yeah.
The 3 Baileys plus Kirby, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And I think Bailey and Kirby were on each other's case. They were both ghost faces, just two different motives.
Here's the thing, though. How does that work? They were side by side. Like the ghost faces were side by side.
Yeah, they were. And what did Bailey say whenever she left the office?
You don't think Kirby would have been like, "Why is there another ghost face here? Who are these other 2 ghosts?" If Kirby was there, so are they working together?
No.
Okay, then why would Kirby? You don't think Kirby would have a reaction like, "Oh, there's 2 other ghost faces here. Who are these people?" You don't think Kirby would probably try to take out the people who would be trying to take her out?
We didn't see them interact together.
We also didn't see Kirby in a Ghostface costume ever.
Right, but
I'm
she
just
was
saying
she disappeared. She disappeared in that climax, though. She shows up with a mark on her head and says that she was knocked out, and it was between Bailey and her, and Bailey ends up shooting her, even though
Yeah,
she
because
had.
so if this is the case, let's say you're right. That means there are 0 red herrings in the movie. Literally every person you suspect is a Ghostface.
Pretty much, that's how I felt.
Except for Danny. He was a red herring.
If
He was,
gotta
yeah,
be
that was the
complete-
only one.
I got to be completely honest. I'm on board with that too. And I mean, you could chalk it up to that's. I mean, this is just for me. That's how they written it. Like those. I mean, I get it. You know, they're supposed to make certain characters look like a red herring, or at least almost everybody.
Yeah.
But there's a way how you do that, and I just feel like they didn't do it to the point where I can't still look at Kirby and be like, man, I don't know.
I see. That's the exact way you write a red herring, though. Because
You
if they
know,
were,
like-
if they weren't a good red herring, we could easily say, well, obviously she isn't this because of this. In order to be a good red herring, you have to be able to justify her being one. And maybe you're
or
right.
she or it was convenient for her that there was other Ghostface at play. Because I mean, we already knew there was other Ghostface from the beginning of that movie. Jason and Greg.
We did.
What if Kirby was working with Jason and Greg in Atlanta, and with their deaths is what made her come to New York?
Interesting.
I mean,
Sure.
Kyle makes an excellent point because I mean,
either she was on Greg and Jason's tail, or
I'll
she
put
was
it in this
working with
regard
them.
because I mean, I can't remember exactly how Scream 5 played out because we know, if I'm accurate, we know they did try to get Hayden for 5 and it just didn't work out. But when you think about it in the Kirby Reed context, so Ghostface murders start happening back in Woodsboro. You work for the FBI and you don't show up.
Yes,
She's in Atlanta.
Yes, but
but she's from
showed up to
Woodsboro.
New York.
Yeah, why would she show up to New York but not Woodsboro, where she's from?
I don't know how familiar you are geographically, but New York is very, very close.
Oh, it is.
A lot closer.
Absolutely, it is.
A lot closer than California.
I looked that up, and I was surprised how close they are together.
So, there you go. I mean, that would be a reason. Also, you have no idea what investigation she's on currently. Like, I don't know. I don't know how police work in everywhere, but I can tell you, as in the time that I've been a part of it and seen it, you can't just say, hey, there's these murders in my hometown, so I'm going to drop everything I've been assigned and go do that.
Okay. Okay. This raises another question. When have you ever known any Ghostface just to knock somebody out off screen?
Just to knock someone out off screen.
Yeah. We've seen Roman do. We've seen
Angelina.
Roman kid. Yeah. We've seen Roman kidnap Gail and Dewey for a reason. Like Roman could have killed Gail and Dewey, but he didn't. He kidnapped them, tied them up. Other than that, when have we ever seen Ghostface knock somebody out off screen like that?
Okay, so
Neil Prescott.
Neil Prescott is the case, is one definitely. But here's the thing: knocking someone out is so specific. Injure someone off screen. You got Derek. You have who else is it? Yeah, Derek.
Oh, Derek. Yeah.
He goes into fight.
Like, who?
Behind a closed door.
The forgettable boyfriend.
Oh.
Ghostface. It's not uncommon for Ghostface to injure someone as they're trying to get away.
Yeah, but in this situation, it was just different. It was different. They could have just killed her.
Here's the thing. It's not different. You want Kirby to be a Ghostface, so you're making it different.
Oh, wait. No,
I mean,
come on now. Nice, Eric.
I honestly, I don't want Kirby to be a Ghostface, but I just feel like the way it is now, it was just really convenient. It was
So
very
maybe I'm
convenient,
not
and it
understanding. How is it different? So Derek chased Ghostface. Ghostface injured Derek, did
Mhm.
not kill them, but got away.
Stabbed him in the arm.
So how is let's say, so you're saying Kirby is somehow a part of it. That's the only explanation for her getting injured.
but not with those Ghostface. She's
Okay,
not a
so
part of them.
what if it's this way?
Hmm.
What if Kirby, being the only person with a gun and an FBI agent tracking Ghostfaces, saw a Ghostface and went to attack them or went to apprehend them like she was there to do? Someone
Mhm.
hit her over the head with a brick as they were running away, because if they stay, they're going to get shot.
Okay. Well, they get knocked out, right?
Who?
Why didn't Ghostface take the gun?
That is, see, it's funny because I was thinking about that, but I was letting y'all roll.
Well, I got my candy corn out. I'm just watching the show. Man. I'm like, let's go.
Why does Kirby still have her gun?
Maybe she didn't have her gun out when she was going to apprehend him.
But it's a law enforcement officer, FBI agent. You would think that Ghostface would steal the gun. That's what he always does, right?
She did carry it on her hip in a holster right there.
It's possible.
What,
Yeah.
Would have been
Yeah.
easy to find and just being like, oh, I got the upper hand now. Mickey did it.
I have a perfect explanation for that. Terrible writing.
I was going to say a lot of the stuff we're talking about the last half
Yeah, I was
hour
about to say, man.
goes
like,
back to the writing.
if we go through it, like there's, and that's goes back to my original point.
Yep.
It's bad writing.
Right.
And then we're making up things to try to justify this bad writing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, it's going to pay off for this.
Right.
6 did not pay off for 5. It didn't. So
Yeah.
I think it's bad writing, and that's and I'm sorry if that was too blunt, by the way, on the comment about Kirby. I don't think it's different. I don't think the possibility of her going after Ghostface. And now here's the thing: there's 2 in that scenario, so maybe she's going after Ghostface, and the other one just blindsides her while they run away. Because keep in mind, these are kids.
Well, that would have been great to see on screen.
A lot of
It
the
would
stuff
have.
we missed would have been great to
It
see
would
on
have.
screen, man. That's
Yep.
the thing. It's not only bad writing. Honestly, there's some bad direction in the movies too, like how it goes all of a sudden from day to night or night to day with no explanation.
I don't know what it was. Kirby didn't feel like Kirby to me in 6. And even like
Right.
that scene where she goes up to talk to Tara, that just felt odd to me. Like,
Yeah.
it felt
It's not good
felt
writing.
really forced, and it made me feel like, is there a hidden agenda here? There's something here.
I think I know the answer, guys, to all of this we're talking about. We were just blessed and spoiled by Wes Craven's first 4 Scream movies. And we are now seeing what Scream looks like without his influence and his hands on it.
Yeah.
And we realize just how great he was. I think this all points back to the greatness of Wes Craven, because without Wes, I mean, again, these aren't terrible movies. We've all said that. I mean, I can watch 5. I don't really like to, but I can. I'll watch 6 over 5. But my point is this: we're seeing what Scream looks like without the master at hand. And
Right.
those first 4 movies, I heard someone, maybe it was one of you, because I've been streaming with all of you recently, but someone said, I won't take credit for it. They said those first 4 movies are like comfort food. And I'm like, I've never heard it said that way. It's like these are comfort movies, because it's like you sit down, you turn it on, and it's like, oh, this is so good. This is so written. This is, even no matter what your least favorite of the first 4 is, it's still so good. And then we turn these on, and we're just seeing the contrast.
Right.
No Kevin Williamson, no Wes Craven. And this is what it looks like. Now, I will say this also. I have hope now more than I've had over the last 2 movies because of Christopher Landon. He's the wild card, and I do believe with his writing experience in multiple films, he has an advantage. I believe he is at a significant upgrade over Radio Silence. And I think that we're going to see the effect of that upgrade in the movie itself. Some of these holes we're used to seeing, I think it's going to be a very tightly pulled together movie. And I don't think we're going to see all these issues in 7. I think we're going to be like, oh, dude, this was so much better. Like, this blows the last 2 away. That's what I'm anticipating.
I really hope so. And it's possible. It's possible. And as much as I have been crapping on 6, and I will continue to crap on 6, it's not a bad movie. And
no, it's not.
As a franchise, Scream is one of the most consistent horror franchises out there. Like, when you go to Jason, Friday the 13th, when you go to Nightmare, when you go to Halloween, I'm going to be honest.
Some are hard to get through.
There are movies in every one of those franchises that it is hard to get through. Like,
but I have to say, I have to give praise to my boy Freddy Krueger. I did a night marathon recently, and I was like, wow, these are some of them that I didn't think that was that great are better than they were. At least a fun ride, And now with Jason, I got to revisit the entire franchise. I do have my favorites of that, but there are certain entries that are kind of like, I got to get through this one just to get to the next one. And it's like, it's almost a chore. Scream doesn't have that. Scream almost feels like an event. It feels like comfort food. Like you said, it feels
the first
like it just feels like it's just that first movie has just always been. I can't count how many times I've ever watched it.
It is as close to you, in my opinion, for a slasher. It's as close as perfect as I think you can get.
Yeah, and it was ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, like I said, I've been crapping on 6, but it's, as a franchise, Scream is still the most literally the most consistent. If you look at like Rotten Tomatoes scores, Scream is the most consistent. It has the least fluctuation from the highest ranked movie to the lowest ranked movie out of any like slasher franchise. It's across the board decent movies. So,
and I'll say this too, Eric, for 6, for me, every time I do watch it, I might come up to 12 times. Every time I watch it, I do enjoy it. And I think there's a lot of rewatch. This is a big thing for me. I talk about rewatchability. I like the rewatchability factor of 6. I think it's there. And it's a fun movie. Much more than 5. I think it's, for me, I enjoy it so much more than 5. I think 5 was, I always say it was a good homage, I think, to Wes and all that. And I appreciate what they did and different things. But, for Wes, I mean, that whole thing was really cool. But as far as movies go, I think 6 is, to me, I like it more. And I think the rewatchability is much better than 5.
Yeah.
And I think 7, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I think 7, when we look back at this trilogy, whatever they do, whether it's Sam and Sydney or whatever the case is, I still think, I'm going on record now, and if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. But I think this sequel will dwarf the previous 2 in terms of how much we like it. I think it's going to be miles ahead.
So you think it's going to be?
Really hope so.
It started here. It's just a constant going up.
Yeah,
it's going to hit.
I think so. I think it is. Yep.
So you think there's going to be more Scream movies made with like following the Carpenters or no?
Yes, dude. I think I don't know with. Oh well, wait a minute. I don't know with the Carpenters, but
yeah,
I think Scream isn't dead after 7.
Oh yeah,
right.
Scream is not going to be dead, and it's with the line from Kirby And there's
Paramount.
a reason
It's a financial success with Paramount.
Well, yeah, but obviously money comes into play, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking studio side at all. I'm talking just story wise. Kirby delivering the line, I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks.
Yeah.
With that single line opens up an infinite amount of places you can go to investigate a Ghostface attack.
Oh yeah, anywhere.
So you have you can have stories that are disconnected. Like it doesn't sound, alluring in the at first thought, but we have Ghostface attacks we can say that happened all across the country. Maybe we didn't hear about them. Apparently no one heard about the Richie attack because Sam's therapist didn't even know that Richie that Sam was part of that, which even though there was a book anyways, with that, I don't think Scream's gonna die.
Oh,
because
no.
the stories are innumerable that could come after this, and you have the Ghostface mask, and the fact that Ghostface can be anyone means you have unlimited stories you can tell. So Scream isn't going to die. It might move away from Sydney completely, might move away from Carpenter sisters completely, but Scream is always going to be there.
Right.
My hope is that they don't just keep copying previous films. And that's the thing. Like we talked leading up to 7 or up to 6. We can go back and check tape on this one. We can go back and watch live streams. I predicted almost every single thing correctly that was going to happen in Scream 6. I got 2 things wrong. I thought her therapist was gonna not die. I thought he was just gonna go off. I didn't think he was gonna kill her. I thought he was just gonna be a nonchalant character, kind of like the cameraman in part 2. And then there was one other thing I got wrong, and I think it was about Danny dying. I thought he was gonna die. Other than that, I guess when the trailer happened, I even said the look from Tara, they're going to have some Hallmark moment where she's like, you got to let me go, figuratively and literally.
Oh, yeah, that scene.
You can go back and watch our trailer reaction that day. I'm like, this is what's going to happen. And that's part of my dislike for Scream 6. It was so predictable throughout. And
it was cool to have... It was cool to have 3 killers, but it leaves no room for people that aren't. Like, that's what I mean. Like, there wasn't enough, like, who.
Well, according to you, it's 4 killers, man. Like, how that doesn't leave anyone.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, honestly, I thought it was kind of weird when the therapist got killed, and then we see Ghostface, like, filing through the cabinets. I was like, we've never really seen Ghostface do something like that.
Well, it was so obvious that right after Sam tells the detective, you can check with my therapist, he's my alibi, all of a sudden her therapist is killed and then the records of her visiting are gone. Bro, they laid it out in front of you. Oh, by the way, it's the cop.
Yeah.
And it like...
And he was hamming it up too. So
and Radio Silence said that in an interview. They acknowledged that. They knew they did that. They acknowledged the fact that they laid it out there for you to guess so easily who the killers were, and they laughed about it. And that's not like trying to throw shade on the guys or whatnot, but I'm just like, I didn't really find that funny because the whole point of Scream is to guess who the killer is and be surprised. You know what I mean? Not the whole entire point, but that's the caveat. That's that's what we love about these movies. That's the whodunit. And when I saw that interview, I'm just like, man, they really didn't take this seriously, huh? Like, wow. Like, that's...
I honestly think the movie would have been better if Ethan wasn't a killer, because it was so, like maybe he was the geek that actually saved the day or something,
That would have been amazing. I would have absolutely loved if, like, because here's the thing. You know what? Have a similar setup to part 1 where you have, so let's say in this particular scenario or comparison, Tara is the Sydney character. She's obviously with Chad. There's that budding romance, but Ethan really does like her, not in the sick, gross way that came out after reveal. But you could set up a lot of depth to the character having a love for this other character that isn't returned. It's not reciprocated, and he tries to save her. Maybe he dies saving her. Like that would have been so much better. Or maybe he gets his scar and he turns in out of nowhere. He's the new Randy, like in the next movie, and we could get rid of god awful. Oh God, what's her name? Mindy. God, kill her. And that's another thing.
Please, somebody kill that character.
I'm just
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for Mindy to go.
She's good in Yellow Jackets. If y'all ever seen Yellow Jackets,
and it's not on Jasmine. It's the character Mindy, not the actor.
That's another thing I'm very hopeful for with Christopher Landon, and hopefully new writers too. And that's another thing. Steven, have you heard anything about writers?
Nothing at all right now. I will say this: Michael Kennedy has said that if he was approached to help write on Scream 7, he would love the opportunity because he loves Scream. So that's the only thing I've heard, is that he just said that if he's approached, then he would be there. He would absolutely be thrilled to be there, to be writing on it.
I'm cool with that, but
yeah.
By the way, Steven, I did see that. Now we're actually gonna be wrapping up here in a minute, anyways. So
cool.
Yeah, let's. This was so much fun. I still can't believe Stu Macher got taken out by 5'0" Jill.
It's just wrong, dude. It's just wrong.
I'm gonna do another one of these exact same setup, but no one in the chat right now is invited. It's gonna be all in the whole new chat. All y'all's gone. You're banned.
Or either that, or you grandfather Stu into the final or semifinal.
And I make sure it's Billy and Jill in the very first round.
There you go.
Stu later. So then you know Stu's gonna be in the finale at least.
That's right.
So was good, y'all. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, man.
Before we do wrap up, got anything coming up on your channels you want to promote? I know you just had something big you announced, Steven. So anything you want to promote?
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. Real quick, I've got the next real big interview right now that I have scheduled. I'm working on a couple of others, but right now, what I can tell you, I do have the director of It's a Wonderful Knife, and he's also one of the writers on Five Nights at Freddy's. His name is Tyler McIntyre, and he is confirmed on my channel for the 25th, which is on a Saturday, and it'll be next week from Saturday, 8 p.m. Central. So we're going to dig into It's a Wonderful Knife as from a director's chair, and Five Nights at Freddy's as the writer's chair. So that's coming up. And then also we just announced today, real quick, Night Watch Zone and Night and I are joining forces again, as we did for Halloween Fest 2. And we are now going to be launching Slay Fest in December. And it's December. It's all horror. We're going to start December 6th. We're watching 6 movies. And we've got a bunch of things that people can be rewarded for becoming channel members or gifting memberships. And it's a lot of fun stuff. We're making a trailer video first of next week. So stay tuned. We're going to drop it on both of our channels, and you'll get all the details. But you're going to want to come be a part of these watch parties and part of Slay Fest, because it's going to be fun.
Is Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg on there?
I'm sworn to secrecy right now. I can just say this. The only thing I'll tease is that, whenever the storm, when a thunderstorm comes in, you look at the clouds and they get real black. And you just never know when it comes to Christmas
I think
Twister?
that's one of the very first slasher movies.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think it's we're not obviously not going to say the title, but if
Yes.
you look up what was the OG slasher movie, one of the very first.
One of the first.
What was
Psycho?
No,
It's
Psycho 2, obviously.
Oh, that was fantastic. Yeah. I just dropped a major hint. I think Barb in the chat, she said, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's if you were, you got it.
Yeah.
If you were listening, but
Yep. And it's the OG, by the way. Don't worry. It's not that 2019 horrific tragedy of a film. It is.
And there was another one
the
in
original.
2006,
Yeah.
right?
6 or 7. Which
Yeah,
I
it's
never
like
saw.
7. Yeah.
Never watched that one, but
It's better
never
than the 19.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the 19. I didn't like it when it first came out, but after rewatching it, I'm like, okay, this is better than most of the stuff we get.
Yeah. Really quickly, Caden, it's a light box. Yes, that's what I made. It is for sale on Etsy if anyone wants one. It has it changes colors. You can dim it, brighten it, whatever. Okay, so Marcus, you got anything on your channel? I've seen tons of videos coming out. You got any lives you want to promote?
Yeah, I am going to be having some live streams coming back next week, but I'm just basically getting caught up. I'm going to be doing my Exorcist review. Talk about that.
I'm sorry.
oh no.
I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be talking about some more Saw stuff like Saw 11, what could happen. Talk about some of the aftermath of Saw X. What it could lead to into a future film and stuff. Is this the end of? Is this really the end of John Kramer, like they said it is? Stuff like that. So yeah, I just got a bunch of stuff that I want to really get out there and get caught up on. I do want to get caught up on those fan films as well. Dylan's New Nightmare, The Shape of Halloween, Never Hike Alone 2. I would love to get caught up on those as well. And yeah, get back on the live stream circuit as well. So I should be back live streaming next week.
I just want to throw this out there. And you mentioned fan films. Have y'all heard of? It's called Vengeance, a Friday the 13th fan film. And then there was.
Is it like have the older guy? And it's like I think supposed to be his dad or something is involved with it.
Elias is in it. Yes.
Elias, yes.
Bro, these are so well. They're feature length. They're free on YouTube. They're so well made, and it's even got what was the guy's name? Dash from the set. He was the guy who played Jason in the second movie.
Okay.
Steve Dash. He's in it as like a cop because obviously he's older now. But they're surprisingly good fan films, and they had decently high budgets. But if y'all haven't checked them out, it's called, if you just Google Vengeance, a Friday the 13th fan film, there's 2 of them, and they are some amazing kills. Jason goes hard in these movies, and they take place like right after Friday 6. So he comes out of the water, and he's still got the chain around him.
Okay.
So wow.
Yeah. So go check. I'll post it later, but go check those out.
Check these out.
Good. Also, I found out it's an awful movie. Don't watch it. But if you want to waste an hour of your life, it's called Voorhees, Night of the Beast. It is Jason Voorhees versus Bigfoot.
Oh no!
This exists on YouTube.
Wow!
It's called Voorhees, Night of the Beasts.
Bro,
oh man,
it's not good. If you want to waste an hour of your life and be like, what am I watching? I say for the last time, Voorhees, Night of the Beast. Destin, my man, you got anything to promote on your channel?
Well, I got my OnlyFans. I got a lot of pictures of my feet.
Bro,
it's
up
there. You don't want to buy any of it.
Wow.
I've been trying to subscribe, but I've been wondering when it's going to happen.
Yeah, man, you're not hitting the right button.
Oh,
no, I have. I'm going to see Thanksgiving tomorrow night, so I will have a review out,
Nice.
Straight out of the theater review of Thanksgiving. I'm so excited to see this movie. It's getting really good reviews. I think we're in for a treat. I got a Halloween-a-thon that I wanted to do for the month of October, but I think I'm gonna do for December. Might invite some of y'all to come along with that. I think maybe I've talked to y'all about this. And I'm still trying to finish up my audiobook for Night of the Slashers, where I'm using AI art, and I've already created the AI art. Everything is created. I just have to finish the voiceover work. So it's kind of hard to find the right talent to voice these characters. Some of them I might just have to do
Hey,
my
I can
best
voice
with.
some characters, man. Let me hit me up.
Hey,
I'll voice some characters.
Yeah. Let me know. I can help you out.
I'll let you. I'll let you do Michael Myers.
There you go, man. I will be.
You don't say shit.
I can breathe so.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, seriously. So the first episode, I want to drop it before the end of the year for sure. I've worked on it for a while now, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm being like a perfectionist here, and I'm just kind of like, let me just throw this out here. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm working on. Jamie, yes, I am playing Alan Wake 2. Thinking about doing another playthrough, so I might do some more gameplay horror gameplays on my channel. So yeah, Alan Wake 2 is awesome. If you have not played that, it is a horror movie. What am I trying to say? Like it's awesome. It's a great experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, man. If for that Halloween-a-thon, if you need any guests, man, let me know. And we need one because as Mayanne pointed out, Marcus missed Halloween Fest too. So
it's true.
Yeah.
bro, we gotta get another one in there. So
we still gotta finish. I still gotta finish my Halloween franchise omnibus. So I mean, I think
That's right, man.
I think it's the signs are all pointing to it's time to get back to a little bit about talking about some Halloween.
We need some Halloween and Christmas. That's what we need. Did any of y'all ever catch that short film I did last year of like Michael Myers versus the Grinch?
I did.
Yes.
I've been considering doing that, something like a part 2 or something like that. But
bro,
I don't know. I got so much going
the top
on
with it. Just go over the top with it. So
yeah, maybe.
All right, everyone. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank everyone who's here and everyone who's watching in the replay.
Yeah.
Forgot the word there. Thank you so much for stopping by, watching it. I hope you if you're here, thanks for voting. Even though in some of the cases I think you voted wrong.
He doesn't mean that.
I do.
He says it with love.
I do. I say it with love.
Hey, Brett James Bishop. Sorry, I saw Brett. Just want to say hi.
Brett, bro,
Hey, Brett.
Dude, your timing is impeccable.
Up, Brett?
I was just about to say good night. Just about to stop the stream. We've been going for almost 3 hours. I will message you, Brett. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. So, y'all, we're gonna get going. One second. Speaking of fan films, this wonderful person does have a fan film coming. However, I was informed that the release date has been pushed, which is unfortunate, but I understand the desire to perfect the movie. So
that's right.
It will be an amazing fan film when it does come out, and I can't wait for that, Brett.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. Shape of Halloween next year.
Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on social media.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good looks at the costume. I'm loving the mask. The poster is amazing. Like, it's all great. So with that, we really are going to call it a night. If you haven't subscribed to my guests, please do so. Have a safe, fun weekend. If you watch any cool horror movies such as Thanksgiving, let me know what you think of them. Love you all. Have a great weekend.